I've spent a ton of money on PS5s over the last couple of years, and in this video, we're going to go through every single wild, crazy, and just downright bad PS5 that I've bought and see if I should reconsider my life choices. Hope you guys enjoy. I bought a refurbished special edition PS5 from eBay for $700, and in this video, we're going to open it up, test it out, and see if we got scammed. Alright, so this console is pretty sketch for a few reasons. First of all, it was packaged literally in a bag, and that was it, so the box is all beat up. There's tape everywhere. It's just pretty disappointing if you're a collector. And second of all, how is there already a refurbished Spider-Man PS5? I mean, this thing came out like a month ago, and also it retailed for $600, not the $700 I paid, so I don't know what's going on here, but let's go ahead and open it up and see what's inside. All right, so we'll start with the console, and I'm very curious, what did they refurbish here? Like, they say refurbished, 1-year warranty, cleaned and everything, but this console came out literally like less than a month ago, so it's just strange that there's a refurbished console already. I am glad they included this original packaging. Let's see what it looks like. Ouch, I just got shocked by the console. What does that smell? It's not a brand new smell, it just smells weird. But looking at the back, looks pretty normal. Got all your ports, don't look damaged or anything. And flipping to the top, that plate looks pretty good. You can see a little bit of like wear on it, but not much at all. Now flipping to the front is where I'll be interested to see what we find here. We see a little bit of like scratching and fingerprints, which is not surprising if this console has actually been used. And then going to the bottom, we have a little bit of dirt and grime, but yeah, nothing too crazy there. Now for this box, let's see what we got here. We got the power cord, which has clearly been used because it's not in the original wrapping. And then we have got our charging cable down here as well. And looking at this controller, it looks pretty good. It's got some, what is that? It's like some stained on like watermarks or something. That is a bit strange. It almost looks like somebody spilled something on the controller and it just dried there. Now in here we have manual or whatever, digital code. Let's go ahead and see if this digital code's been redeemed. Oh, nope. Apparently we still have, it says scratch here for pins, so it should still work. And it's all beat up, doesn't really matter. We have an HDMI cable, which is not the original HDMI cable. Let me see if it's even a 2.1. So I don't see anything on the cable that mentions HDMI 2.1, so I'm not sure, but I definitely know this is one of those cheap cables, which are fine for like older consoles, but for brand new PS5s or refurbished PS5s, I would think they'd throw in like a legit 2.1 cable there. We also got our quick start guide, and we have our stand here, which is, wait, what happened to the stand? Why is it got all this stuff ingrained into it? I have so many questions in there. Wait, here's the big question. Do we have the screw? We don't have the screw. Dude, that's super lame. I'm not surprised. I mean, that's really easy to lose, but like, come on, dude. Let's just go ahead and plug it in and see if it actually works. Wait, you know what's interesting? They included this DualSense wireless controller manual. Did that actually come with the console? Like, I feel like this only comes with the controller if the controller is purchased separately. Maybe, I don't know, who cares? Oh dude, this is funny. There's actually like a giant grease stain inside of this box. So somebody definitely spilled something in this console or on this console. They're eating pizza while they're unboxing the console? I don't know, sketch. Well, let's go ahead and see if this thing turns on. So 3, 2, 1. The disk drive made a really weird noise when I turned it on. Wait, hold on, let me try that one more time. So first of all, nothing has popped up on the screen yet, and I hear some knocking from inside the disk drive. Let me just like sit here and record some sound so you can hear it. Yeah, there it was. All right, so we're on the screen now. Let's go ahead and, great, controller is dead. Let me plug that in too. Honestly, that knocking noise I heard earlier might be the fan because I don't feel any airflow out of here. Like, I know the PS5 is pretty quiet on the home screen, but that's sketch. All right, so I got Astro's Playroom downloading because that's just a great test for the controller and the console. Let's go ahead and put a game in and see what it does. All right, guys, so this is getting sketchier by the second. This PS5 is like dead silent. It smells weird, and the smell is kind of like a burning smell almost, and I still feel no airflow. Let's go ahead and put this game in that I just got. I got medium that I just used for testing. Let's go ahead and see if the disk drive works first of all. Cool, it accepts the game, that's a good sign. All right, so while that game's installing, let's go ahead and boot up Astro's Playroom and just see what it does. Actually, I'm gonna pause this so that I'm gonna pause this so that all we hear is the fan. I don't wanna hear the disk drive right now. And I mean, like, I could open this PS5 up right now and see if the fan's doing anything, but I kinda want just to be surprised. So let's, there it is. It overheated. Can't believe it. That's hilarious. Back up. Evacuate the building. This is seriously unbelievable. Like, the number of PS5s I've had on this table that were broken in some capacity is way too high. And these are consoles that I bought supposedly refurbished or working, whatever. But let me just try to turn this on again and see what it does. Okay, first time I pressed it, it didn't even turn on. Now it's trying to turn on. I don't know. This PS5 is so busted. What do these guys sell me? This is crazy. What in the world, dude? And I did the same thing when I turned it on again. It made like a weird noise. All right, we'll try it one more time to see what it does. I'm sure it's gonna overheat immediately. I mean, as soon as I booted this thing up, it was just like, nope, way too hot. And yeah, I still feel no airflow. So that, it makes sense. Fan's not working, unplugged, something along those lines probably. Watch me open it up though, and the fan is actually plugged in, and it's just some, I don't know, man. Just wild stuff. Oh, we might make it far enough this time to actually test the controller though. Let me see this real quick. Nope, there it is. All right, overheated again. Dude, let me check. Does this serial number even match up with this box? Okay, so the serial number at least matches up with this box. But what I wonder is like, this doesn't really matter, but I mean, it kind of does matter. What if they took the sleeve from a Spider-Man PS5, put it around a white box, bought the plates and put them on? I wouldn't be surprised there, honestly. Like they might have done that, but at this point it doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and unplug this thing and take it apart and see what's going on inside of this console. All right, top plate is off here, and there is a fan in there. At least, okay, there is a fan, and it's inside of the plate is pretty dirty, so I think it's definitely been opened before. If we open up the other side, we should be able to see the warranty seal. And that's a little bit dirty, but the warranty seal here is still intact. This, oh no, this sticker's definitely been taken off though. Wait, yeah, that's super sketch. So this sticker right here is misaligned, which means somebody has taken that apart. Dude, I wonder if the person who originally bought this actually took this little piece off and tried to plug the fan in to see if it was just a fan issue, and then that didn't fix it. They probably returned it, and then these other people somehow got it and just sold it as refurbished without touching it. This is such a widespread epidemic of people just selling crap as refurbished and doing absolutely nothing with it. Like, if they had tested anything on this console, they would have known it was broken. They clearly maybe turned it on and said, yep, good to go, and shipped it out. So guys, it cannot be overstated enough, like how sketchy it is that we still have sellers out there selling crap as refurbished and clearly not even testing it. I mean, this company's called Retech Deals on eBay, 15,000 feedback, 96,000 items sold, and somehow they're still getting away with selling crap like this. And you can see the condition says very good refurbished. Now if you scroll down, we can actually see the full description where it says that it's been professionally refurbished, inspected, and cleaned by qualified technicians. I mean, no comment there. God, man, it's so messed up. And the warranty seal does feel fully intact. Now it is possible to like heat up the warranty seal with a heat gun and remove it and then replace it without it looking like it's been replaced. So they could have done that, but let's go ahead and I'm gonna plug this thing in again and just see if the fan's doing anything. All right, console on, and the fan tried to spin up and now it's stopped. Oh, no, now it's starting to spin again. Yes, you can see here, it tries to spin up. That's the knocking noise I heard, is when the fan tries to spin up, but it's not. Okay, what I'm gonna try to do here is I'm actually just gonna try to swap out the fan with another PS5 I have and just see what happens to it. All right, so I just took a fan from an older model PS5, but I'm assuming it probably uses the same fan. At least uses the same connector. So let's try to just plug this one straight in and see if it even tries to spin up. Dude, it's straight up just a bad fan. I just plugged this fan in and it's working fine. Look at that, it's going crazy. It's going crazy trying to cool this console down. Let me actually put it in place and we'll just swap out the fan for now and do some more testing here. Wow, that is amazing. If these guys were actually refurbishing these consoles at all, it would be that's just such an easy fix. Turn the console on, see it's overheating, open it up, and see the fan's not spinning, swap the fan out, boom, good to go. Now, it might have more issues, let's see, but let me just go ahead and swap this fan out internally. And dude, this console it's so hot, wow. So I figure now is a good chance to take advantage of my thermal camera, and you can see here on the right side, I have a normal PS5 that's functioning correctly, and it's maxes out at about 90 degrees out of the fans on the back, 90 degrees Fahrenheit that is. And then, oh my goodness, coming here on the left side of the overheating PS5, it gets up to like 145 in the hot spot. So yeah, both of these are just sitting on the home screen. It should not be nearly this hot. So this is why you want a fan, guys. So comparing these fans, they look pretty close, pretty similar, but they're clearly two different model fans. I'm not sure that it really matters. It looks like they have, actually, the older fan has more blades, I think. Oh, what in the world? Okay, yeah, so the PS5 I have has 23 blades. This one has 17 blades on the fan. Just different models I mean, you probably don't need as many blades for the newer version because it's more efficient, but just something interesting to point out. And let me touch that heat sink in there. Oh my gosh, it's gonna burn me if I hold it for more than a millisecond. That's so funny, man. Let me go ahead and plug this thing in. Dude, the cable doesn't stretch quite far enough. Actually, I think it will if I kind of really twist it enough. Yikes. What on earth? This thing is freaking taking off. Oh my God. As soon as I plugged that in, that thing just started taking off. Yeah, I can feel a bunch of heat coming out the back now, but as you can see, it didn't even fit in the right spot because the cable's not long enough because it's not the right fan. But let's go ahead and plug this thing back in and see if it'll actually boot up a game now. All right, so now let's see if this if we can boot up a game and actually play it now that we have a working fan. Well, good news, we finally made it to the controller demo here. Vibration works. Let's see if our adapter triggers work. Yep, those are good. Motion sensor is good. All right, sweet. So the controller is good to go. Let's go ahead and go back and put that other disc back in and just make sure the disc drive fully works. And of course, the PS5 is upside down now, so I gotta put this gaming upside down. So guys, let me know down below, do you guys put your PS5 upside down or do you put it the correct way up? Because one time, I think there was somebody arguing with me that they actually put their PS5 upside down and that's the correct way to do it. So let me know down below, I'm curious. Now another thing I wanted to do here is scratch off the pin on the game code just to see if it would work and if it's redeemable. Because I actually, Best Buy got me with that a while back when I bought a used PS5 from Best Buy. They included a code that was already used. But I'm not gonna try that here because I am gonna return this console considering it didn't work out of the box and it was refurbished. But yeah, let's wait for this game to load. All right, cool, this game is working. So the console is fully functional once the fan is swapped out. Of course, we have the incorrect fan in here, it just doesn't fit. This just blows my mind that people are sending out consoles like this. It clearly just was not tested at all, maybe turned on for half a second and that was about it. But yeah, this will be going back to the seller. Oh, and by the way, I put in a return request on October 31st and still have not gotten approval from the seller, which is just awesome. And guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the misery of this PS5, and let me know down below what you think, and I'll see you guys next time. I bought this refurbished PS5 from GameStop, and in this video, we'll take an in-depth look at it to see if they refurbished anything and if it's worth the almost $500 price point. And here's the box, and the first thing I noticed when I picked it up is there's a lot of stuff sliding back and forth, so I don't have much hope here, but let's go ahead and open the box up and see what's inside. All right, and the big reveal, we have another white box on the inside, so we'll take that out and see what's below that. All right, white box, and oh, there's the PS5, and that does not look ideal. Oof. Just strange packaging. I mean, I guess it held it in place, but there's not much cushioning on the sides. Let's go ahead and take it out and see what it looks like. All right, so pull it out, and let's go ahead and, oh, nope, they did it again, guys. Oh, it's harder to tell because it's a white console, but they scratched it up with Magic Eraser. Oh, man, every time. And now the question is, did they do it to the glossy part? I can't tell because I don't have any light over here yet, so let's flip it around and look. And they did it. No way. Dude, they did it. Oh, man. Every time, man. Like, without fail, Magic Eraser, they go ham on this thing. And, like, look at that. It looks so bad. I mean, come on, man. Every time. So we'll take a closer look at this console in a second. First, I want to take a look inside of that big white box they included. All right, so here it is, and let's see if we can open it up. Oh, it's nice and smashed on the edge. And here we go. So we have our classic little startup guide telling you how to turn your console on. We've got a power cable wrapped up. We've got a HDMI cable. We also have our stand. This is good. I thought for a second they might not include the stand, but we do have the stand. Now, do we have the screw is the real question. All right, and yes, we do have the screw. Is that the original screw? It kind of looks different. Huh. I have not touched the screw on my PS5 in a while, but that looks different. Maybe it's not, I don't know. But that looks like a different screw, honestly, at first glance. But otherwise, the stand looks okay. And then we have our controller here, and this will be interesting to see what kind of condition this is in. First glance, it's not bad, except the analog sticks are a little bit questionable. I'll show that up close in a second. We have our USB-C cord as well. So here's the controller they included. It doesn't look too bad. I'm trying to see if it's scratched up with Magic Eraser, and I don't think it is, so that's good to see. Now the analog sticks, for some reason, look like they are dirty, but I think it might just be the cardboard rubbing against them. I still think that when people ship out controllers like this, they need to either rub it in bubble wrap, wrap it in a bag or something, because these things rub against the cardboard and shipping and get like dust all over them. Either that or they were just dusty from the GameStop factory. But then the back looks okay. I don't see any issues there. And just at first glance, all the buttons click, not dirty or anything. So the controller actually looks pretty good. So back to the console, and man, this thing looks really bad. It's kind of hard to see. There's scratches all over it. You got some really bad bands of scratches like right here. Then flipping over to the front here, it's just as bad, I guess worse, honestly, because it's black and you can see it a whole lot easier. So I'll show you guys there. I mean, just look at all those scratches, the entire thing. Like, let's look at the top. I'm sure they did it there too. Yep, so the top is mutilated with scratches as well. And yeah, I mean, like, no spot on this console was left out. And then flipping over to the front here, again, scratches all over it. All right, now let's flip over to the bottom. See if they scratched up that, and oh, they didn't. Nice. So they at least left one side off, and maybe the back. Oh, even the back, guys. Look at that. They even scratched up the back side. I mean, they literally left no side unturned except for the bottom, but every other side is scratched up. Now let's take a look at our ports and see how they look. Now zoomed in here on the back, we've got our 2 USB ports, our LAN port, our HDMI port, and our power port. They all look pretty good at first glance. I did have a Series X that I bought refurbished from GameStop recently, and the HDMI port was really bad. Guess let's plug this console in and see if it works. Now let's go ahead and plug the controller in and see if this console boots up. We're booted up now, and I walked around my console and got a whiff of the exhaust, and man, it does not smell good. I mean, I don't know why every console I buy from GameStop smells, but it's not quite like cigarette smoke. I don't know what the smell is. It's kind of musty. I don't know. It's weird, but it does not smell good. We're booted up now. Setup process is done. Let's go ahead and try out a PS5 game first, just to make sure it works. This is the disc version, so yep, there's no disc in there, so no free game. We'll try out a PS5 game first, then we'll try out a PS4 game as well, because the PS5 is backwards compatible with PS4 games, of course. So the game is queued up now, and while it's doing that, I'm going to go and test out the internet. So we're connected up already, but I want to test the speeds and just make sure we're not having any issues there. This console appears to be okay. We have download speeds and upload speeds. So one issue you could have with a PS5 is that the whole console could be banned from PSN, which is obviously an issue, and usually it happens when somebody reports a console stolen or something like that. But my upload speeds are really slow, so I'm going to rerun that test one more time just to see if it comes up a little faster this time. Alright guys, so we're having an issue with upload speeds. Right now it gave me 760 kilobits per second, which is extremely slow. I just ran a speed test on my phone and got 35 megs up. So I'm going to go to the browser here and see if I can run an Ookla speed test and get something better than what the PSN speed test is telling me. I just ran a speed test in the browser and I'm getting 37 up, which is a whole lot better than what I was getting. So I guess it's just an issue with the PlayStation Network capping out my speeds. This game is downloaded now though, so let's go ahead and make sure it boots up. So we're booted up into the PS5 game. I'm not going to play this game. I'm actually going to play Astro's Playroom because that's better for testing out the triggers and stuff. But I also want to test out a PS4 game just real quick. Alright, so Until Dawn for the PS4 worked as well. So PS5 and PS4 games are good off a disc here. Now let's go ahead and boot up Astro's Playroom, which I downloaded. And this game is really good for testing out like triggers, vibration, that sort of thing. So we're going to try it out. And I also want to just reiterate how bad this console smells. Like, I've gotten used to it because I've been sitting here for a while now, but when you just walk past the vent and sniff, ooh, it's not good. It's not cigarette smoke. It's like rotten, dead, moldy. I don't know. It just smells really weird. So I'm very curious to see what it looks like inside the console, which by the way, we will be opening up the console and seeing what's inside, so we'll see if they actually refurbished anything. But let's go ahead and test out Astro's Playroom real quick. Alright, so first thing to note is the speaker on the controller is working, and also I can feel his little feet running around, so the vibration is working as well. Let's go ahead and just hop into Cooling Springs and test out a few other things. All these buttons work great as well so far. Now the thing I'm really concerned about are the triggers, because those things pretty easily break. Now what I want to do is go back to the main menu here and go to the claw machine, because the claw machine is really good for testing out these adaptive triggers. I'm actually in a new game, and we're in the controller demo now. We can test our adaptive triggers here. And yeah, they're working. So I can feel some resistance. They're pretty neat. If you've never tried them out, you definitely got to try them out. Definitely the coolest triggers I've ever used. I'm trying to break them now. Yeah. I tested everything out in this controller demo, so it's all working great. Now, the last thing I want to do here is take the console apart and see what they actually refurbished, because so far the console seems to work fine. It does smell not good, but let's go ahead and take a look inside. And one more thing, the fan on the PS5 actually sounds kind of loud. I haven't ever put my ear next to my PS5 to listen to it, but it sounds a little bit odd. Let me put it next to it and see if you guys can hear it. So it just sounds kind of weird. I'm not sure if that's normal or not, but just something else to point out. So we'll first start by taking these panels off. Pretty easy to do. You just gotta lift up this corner and slide it. That actually came off really easily, so you know it's been opened before. And looking at this side, you can see some scratches here. So obviously there's been a screwdriver around here. And just looking at it, not too dirty. It's a little bit dusty, but nothing crazy. And let's take off the other side as well. All right, this side came off pretty easily as well. And just looking at it, ooh, it's got some like weird dust in there. What? Oof. It's got some like really dark dust. That might be where our smell is coming from. But other than that, both the panels look pretty good. Nothing too crazy going on here. Now this console is a bit hot because I just turned it off. Now looking at it, you can see our warranty seal is broken down there. And then you also have to open up this piece to get it further open. So at least they put that piece back. But just first glance at it, doesn't look too bad. Now the first thing I'll do here is take off this little panel right here, which will tell us if there's an SSD inside, which I'm assuming not. I did not see one when I was in the GUI, but we're just gonna take a quick peek. So I don't see anything there or any remnants of there ever being an M.2 SSD there. Now let's go ahead and start taking this console apart further. So I'm partway taking this thing apart, and just look at that. That is absolutely disgusting. They call this refurbished. Like I just basically what I did is I took all the screws out, pulled this piece up, and then boom, just tons of dust. That's all around the fan, on the sides. Like I don't know what. Come on, man. Like they call this refurbished. I mean, that's just sad. Like it's disgusting. It looks like dirt in the camera, but it's not dirt. It's all dust, and I don't even want to touch it. It doesn't smell like cigarette dust. I don't know what it smells like. It just does not smell good. It smells bad. Come on, GameStop. I mean, really? Oh my goodness. I just got the outer pieces all the way off. So first of all, here's the other outer piece covered in dust again. And now look at this heat sink. It is filthy. Sorry, I got some wire straddling here, but dude, look at that. Oh my gosh. What did they refurbish? They didn't. Oh my, what in the world? Does refurbish not mean clean? My goodness, this thing is caked in dust and dirt, whatever that is. I don't know. I don't see any dead animals in there yet, but I'm kind of surprised I don't, because this thing is absolutely filthy. My goodness. This is bad. So zoomed in a bit more, you can just see there's a bunch of dust straddling between there. It's all like just hanging over there, caked in between the like, oh, look at that. Just caked in there, over there. No wonder this thing got so hot when I was playing. I mean, it's normal to get hot, but it was getting really hot. Probably because there's so much stuff caked in here. You can even see the power supply over here, just the dust and dirt caked over here. I don't know what else to do with this console because I can't take off the heat sinks. I don't want to get down to liquid metal or anything. But taking a look at this side, like I don't see anything obvious that's been refurbished. Like on the Series X that I bought from GameStop, they fixed the HDMI port, and if you zoom in here, it does not look like it's been repaired or anything. So I'm not quite sure what they did here. Maybe they replaced the disk drive. It looks pretty normal to me. Maybe they fixed something there. So as I was putting this back together, I noticed that this little piece of tape right here is broken. So I'm assuming the disk drive was refurbished. I'm not going to open it up. It is working. But it seems that they opened this up, refurbished the disk drive, put it all back together, did not clean out any of the dust. Just a terrible job, man. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I did not, because my hands are like, I feel like I can't touch anything. They're just disgusting. Like this console is absolutely nasty. This thing is going right back to GameStop. They better give me a refund, because this is unacceptable. Like I can't believe I paid $460 plus tax for this absolutely disgusting PS5. Guys, if you want a PS5, buy a brand new. Do not buy one from GameStop. This is unacceptable. Just terrible. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. I bought a refurbished PS5 console from Wish.com, and in this video, we're going to see if they sent me a real PS5 console and if they actually refurbished anything. Alright, so first things first, we're going to open up this box, and I honestly think it might come in the original box, the original PS5 box, because this is a very large shipping box they sent me. Let's see what's inside. Alright, so opening up the box. Like I said, this thing is massive. We got plenty of packaging here, and we kind of have the original box. That's interesting. So they didn't send me the sleeve that goes around this box, but they sent me the internal box. Interesting. Let's take this out and look at it. So they did indeed send me a real box. There's no, like I said, no sleeve on here. Kind of just interesting coming from Wish. But this did indeed come from a seller on Wish.com. And the interesting thing is we've got a sticker up here. It says grade A, fully functional. So I guess it's in nice condition. Let's go ahead and open it up and see if that's true. We do still have this little box. Wow. All right, we got some packaging. Oh, we got a black controller. Oh, no, it's not. Never mind. I thought I had a full black controller. Never mind, it's the white and black. And that thing, has that even been used? What in the world? Interesting to see. We've got our cables here. We've got an HDMI cable, power cable, and then we should also have a stand in here. We've got, oh, that's the charging cord. We also have our manual. This should be the stand. So here's our stand. We'll take a look at that in a second. So far, very surprised we have all the original components, and down in here we have the PS5, and it's wrapped up in some bubble wrap. I can't remember if that came with the PS5 originally. I don't think it did. All right, so PS5 console pulled out. We do have the original like foam inserts, I guess you'd call them, to hold them in place. I can't remember if these are the original, like this is the original wrap around it. I'm not quite sure, but like first look at this PS5, it looks very nice. You have a mark there, so that does appear, that's probably the mark from the stand, so I'm guessing it has been used before, which would make sense considering it is a refurbished console, so they probably fixed something on it. Now just looking at the this center part, doesn't look too bad. You got some scratches, some scuffs there, as you can kind of see. Hard to tell. It is pretty dusty, and it smells kind of odd. Like I don't know what it smells like. It doesn't quite smell like cigarette smoke, but it smells off. That's my first glance. Like going through this, everything looks perfect, but then the smell, it's a little bit off. So yeah, not sure what's going on there. We'll take a closer look, of course, but here on the top looks pretty good as well. I know it's kind of hard to show for whatever reason. It's hard to show scuffs and scratches on the PS5. I think because it's a matte white, so it's just kind of hard to show. All the standard ports, nothing too bad. Again, it does smell a little bit off. And yeah, coming from Wish, I don't know if anything has actually been refurbished. Like, I don't know if they fixed something. I don't know if they cleaned out the inside. I don't know, but we're going to find out. All right, PS5 to the side. Let's take a look at the stand. I'm curious if they included the screw that comes with it. And did they? Let's see. They did. Wow. And it's one of the newer screws. Nice. I'm always surprised when I see that screw. I figured that's the first thing to get left out of refurbished consoles or used consoles, whatever. All right, so here's the controller. And like I said, this thing looks honestly pristine. Like, I don't think it's ever been used. I don't see really any scratches or scuffs on the front. The back looks really nice as well. I see a few small scratches, but usually if this thing is really worn, it'll have some like wear marks around where your fingers are placed, but this one does not appear to have those. This one looks, I don't know if it's ever been used. And then these wires here are weird. Like, I don't know if these have been used. Like, looking at them, I don't think that's the original wrapping. Like, I think it would look better if it came from factory that way. And I'm not sure that these are the same zip ties that PlayStation uses. Not that it really matters. I'm just kind of curious if this is all brand new stuff or if it's actually been used. And you know, the thing with Wish is you never know what you're getting. The listings are terrible, very suspicious and weird. Let me show you that listing now, and then we'll get into the testing the console. So here's the listing I bought from on wish.com, and you can see it says refurbished PS5. Now, coming down here to the description, very generic. It says this item is refurbished, and then no other info, just like the generic stuff like DLC is not included. It says the PS5 has an SSD, all that crap you already know. So very mysterious, very weird, never know what to expect from wish.com. The console is now plugged in. I got it turned on. It looks like it's working, but I will revise my statement from earlier. This thing reeks of cigarette smoke. I could only smell it slightly before, but now that the fans are blowing out, my whole room starts to smell like it. I don't know how I keep getting these cigarette smoke consoles. This is the second refurbished PS5 that I've bought that smelled like cigarette smokes. Dude, look at that. Oh my gosh. What did they refurbish? They didn't. Oh my. What in the world? Does refurbished not mean clean? What are the chances? But let's go ahead and plug this controller in and make sure we can connect up. All right, guys. So I got a PS4 game to try. I don't actually have a PS5 game with me. Well, a PS4 will suffice. And this console's getting worse and worse by the second. The cigarette smell is just going everywhere now. My nose is getting clogged up. But man, this has gone downhill really quickly. I thought it was looking good at first, but the smell of the cigarette smoke, I can't imagine the inside of this thing looks good. It's going to be a flashback of the GameStop console. I'm just convinced of it. So let's let this thing update, and yeah, we'll keep going. No way. Oh. This can't be real. I just turned this console back on, and it says this PS5 services access is permanently or temporarily I didn't even try to buy a bad PS5. I bought the only PS5 I could find on Wish. It was refurbished, smells like smoke, it's banned, I can't log in. What? Wow, I'm glad I opened this up within the 30-day window, because otherwise I would have been toast. Let me see if it even loads a game. We got Persona 5 in here. We'll see if it loads up. My mind is blown right now. Holy crap. Like, clearly, oh yeah, I forgot I can't connect to the network. Wow. I can't even test the controller because I can't download a game I want to play. I was going to download the Astro Bot game, or one of those Astro games. I can never remember the exact name of it, but you know, the game where you can use all the controls easily and test out the adaptive triggers, all that good stuff. I can't test that out because I can't connect to the network. This is insane. I actually cannot believe that I got a console that's banned. The chances of that, wow, like that is bad. I don't even know if the vibration works in this controller because I have not felt it yet. I guess I'll play enough to test it out. Oh, okay, vibration works. Wow. It just took forever to get vibration here. Oh, wait, does it? It almost feels like the vibration is stronger on the left side. I don't know, it works, but I'm still just amazed, like, that the fact that this thing is banned. Like, it connected to the internet, and then it was like, oh, wait, sorry, you're banned. So, first of all, it smells like cigarette smoke. It's banned. Controller seems to work. I can't test a PS5 game because I can't download a PS5 game. I guess the next thing to do is open it up and see how dirty it is inside, because I can't imagine if they didn't even turn it on and test if it connects to the network. I can't imagine they opened it up and cleaned anything. So, man, this is mind blowing. I can't believe how many companies are selling refurbished consoles that have issues, aren't refurbished, don't work. Just mind blowing. But let's go ahead and open this thing up and see what it looks like on the inside. All right, so we're gonna open this console up now, and like I said, it's getting worse by the second. It smells awful, and we noticed on the bottom, this is interesting. The manufacturing date is August 22nd, or excuse me, August 2022. I don't know if you can see that there, but it is. So that's like 6 months ago. So this guy, whoever got this console. They got it banned. They got it to smell like cigarette smoke, all in that matter of time. Got it to Wish, then Wish sold it. So weird. But let's go ahead and take these faceplates off and see what it looks like on the inside. First glance here, looks pretty clean. And yeah, my guess is that somebody maybe opened this up, or probably took the faceplates off, blew it out, and didn't open it further than here, because now looking at it, I can see this sticker right here looks fully intact, and so does this one. You got to take those stickers off to get below here, but we're gonna keep going. Just taking a closer look at that fan. Like, the fan doesn't really look dirty, but we're gonna keep going until we get down to the board and see what this thing actually looks like. All right, so start by taking off this little plate right here, and this is where you can put an SSD for your PS5, which I highly recommend if you have a PS5. And yeah, it looks like that's never been used. And actually, I didn't really show you, but the faceplates themselves look really nice. So like, it's amazing that this console looks this good but smells so bad. I guess it just sat in somebody's house that was smoking. I don't know, man, just crazy stuff. All right, guys, I'm taking off this sticker here. Definitely never been removed before, so this console has never been opened before. Don't know how you can call it refurbished if it hasn't been opened up and cleaned out, but apparently that's what everybody's doing these days. So let's keep going though. All right, so I have the fan out, and the fan looks suspiciously good. Like, I don't see any dust or anything on this fan, which is amazing considering how bad this console smells. I don't even know how that's possible. Like I said, I think they blew it out really, really good from the outside somehow. They must have some kind of like industrial vacuum and compressed air. I don't know, but it's so far surprisingly clean. All right, first plate is now coming off. We're gonna see what the inside looks like a little bit. Ooh, we got some cables still strapped down there. Hold on a second. All right, so actually I'm gonna take this piece off first. And again, surprisingly clean in here so far. I don't know how, but it is. We're of course gonna keep going though. I wanna keep going until I find some dust and dirt. I don't know how it could be possibly this clean and smell this bad. Now's the fun part. I get to take out about 40 screws, and we'll get down to the board now. All right, so I actually did not need to take out all of these silver screws, I don't think, but I got enough screws out to flip it around and look at this heat sink. And man, that just looks, it looks suspiciously clean. Like, look at that. I don't see any dust or dirt. I don't know, man. I mean, you can see clearly there's some heat. So it's been in use some, which we know because it's been banned. But like, I guess, I don't know what was refurbished here. I don't know what Wish did with his PS5. I don't know why it was called refurbished. Nothing about this was refurbished. I mean, it wasn't even opened up, and we know that because I took the warranty seal off. Like, the warranty seal was still intact when I opened it up. So yeah, this console is weird. Like, it's clearly the worst buy I've had in a while. 1 out of 10, doesn't work, not refurbished. I can't connect to the internet because it's banned. Like, just a really, really bad buy from Wish. Just a terrible, terrible buy. How many times am I going to say that? But it's just, it is. And yeah, let me know down below what you guys think about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm driving 1,400 miles to pick up a 900-pound pallet of untested video game consoles from Goodwill, and on the way, I'm stopping at as many retro video game stores as possible, but today is a little bit different. Guys, welcome to episode 4 of the
Texas Load.
So today started out a little sad. You know, instead of just hitting the normal retro game stores, I wanted to do something a little bit different. So we visited 3 GameStops, and what do you know? The first 2 had basically nothing interesting, and the third one was closed when we got there. So then we hit a random Goodwill, which, surprise, surprise, only had a Wii Fit board and 2 Madden games. We then hit a local game store called Game Over Video Games in Austin, and while they had some very cool items, I just wasn't feeling it. But right as I was about to give up, you know, it hit me. I knew what I was gonna buy today. All right, guys, decided to check out the Best Buy website and saw that they have some sort of open box PS5 in satisfactory condition. So we're gonna go check it out, see if we can pick it up, and see what's going on here. Hey, I'm looking for this. Ooh, open box PS5s. Looking around, but couldn't find it.
Hey, you have the open box PlayStation 5 up by customer service by any chance?
Yep.
She has it up by customer service.
Okay, wait, hold on a second. Did that guy just walk out with our open box PS5? No. That's just a brand new one. Okay. That was close. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Now everybody's looking at me. You're gonna steal my PS5? All right, guys, we secured the PS5 from Best Buy. They had it behind the counter, so we were looking around for a while. Had to wait for them to pull it out. And then checked out the PS5 box, and it's a little bit beat up, but apparently the satisfactory means that the console inside is probably beat up as well, just according to Best Buy's website. But we'll, of course, find that out here in a minute. So let's get into it. This console is a little bit weird. I mean, as you've already seen, it has this label on the front. Basically, I was looking for retro game stores in Austin and just happened to look at Best Buy and found that they had an open box console in store. The weird thing is it's called Satisfactory Grade C, and you can see here on the sticker it says residue / minor scratches. I'm assuming that's on the console itself. I'm not sure what happened here. I guess somebody bought it, returned it, and my guess is that they probably used the code here too. I hope not, but it is a Modern Warfare 2 console, so it has a code inside. Let's go ahead and slice this open and see what's on the inside. All right, so we peel this up. Of course, we do have some rips in the boxes. Man, the Sony boxes with the sleeves, not a huge fan of. They always get ripped. Let's go ahead and slide this out. Oh, and not even inside the box, we have our Modern Warfare 2 code, which hopefully works. Again, I'm pretty sure that was most likely used. Like, my guess is somebody bought this, used the code, and then returned the console. Let me just look at the back here. Yeah, it's scratched off. Somebody bought this and used the code. I need to check the Best Buy listing to see if that was like part of the stipulation, but I paid $4.85 for this, so it was like a $50 savings, I think. You're only saving money because of the code. Like this cost extra because the code is included, so all right, that's not cool. All right, guys, so I kind of want to go in on Best Buy here for a second because it's pretty bad that they did not include the code here. The description of an open box Satisfactory on Best Buy's website says that it might be missing original packaging. It might be missing some non-essential parts, but like the code is definitely essential since that's like the whole reason you buy this specific package. And Geek Squad apparently certified this and like opened it up and clearly saw there was a used code in here. So it's just like, it's like next level bad that Best Buy resold this without a working code. Just come on, guys. Let's see what the inside of the box looks like. Man, dude, that's so dirty of somebody to, I know for sure, like you guys know too, somebody bought this console just so they could use the code and then returned it to Best Buy, just taking advantage. And let's take a look on the inside here. First glance, it looks okay. This box looks like it's been opened before. Let me pull this out and we'll take a look inside of this box first. All right, so this box should have all the accessories. We have the PS5 controller here. Let's go ahead and see if this appears to be used. It's definitely been used. It's got some like dirt there along the crack, which would not happen if it was not used at all. You can see some little micro scratches here that could be from just banging around in the box, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that's just like scratches from somebody using this. Yeah, it doesn't look like in terrible condition or anything, but it's definitely, somebody definitely opened this console up and used it. We got the USB-C cord there, which is not wrapped correctly from factory, so that was definitely opened and used. We've got HDMI cable. That looks like it's from factory, so they probably didn't use an HDMI cable, probably used the one they already had. Power cable, I think it was wrapped slightly differently from factory. Now, the real test is, do we have the screw inside of here? I'm gonna guess no. Oh, we do. Okay, cool. We do have the screw inside of the stand. That's what I'm actually surprised how many consoles I've bought that still had the screw included. I would think people lose them a whole lot more frequently than they do, but we do have all the accessories so far. Let's go ahead and put this to the side and we'll see what's inside of the box here. And guys, in case you haven't noticed, we are in a hotel filming, so apologies for the dirty walls and stuff. Can't really do anything about it, but let's go ahead and slide this out. Let's see what it looks like on the inside here. And oh yeah, it is kind of scratched up. Huh. Top looks fine. Like I see some, like maybe minor blemishes, nothing to write home about. But here, looking on the center faceplate here, there's like greasy fingerprints all over it. Like some dude clearly picked this up, played it for like 5 minutes, and then took the code. I guess those are all just fingerprints. Like it doesn't look scratched up, but like the dude has whoever played this has the greasiest fingerprints I've ever seen. Now looking at the back here, all the ports look okay. Like you can just glance there, I don't see any issues there. Oh, and he left us a surprise in the bottom here. Got ourselves a nice little hair. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, looking at the cracks, it doesn't look dusty or anything, so it doesn't look like they used it for an extended period of time. But this is like pretty tragic that I bought this and the code was used. I'm assuming it is because it was scratched off. My other concern is, what if this guy bought this console and got banned online? But let's go ahead and plug it in. All right, guys, I have this console plugged in on my old hotel TV right here. Let's go ahead and see if it works. We'll first, of course, plug our controller in, Turn it on. We do have life. I honestly would not be surprised if this thing was not reset. You know, who reset it? Geek Squad? Pfft, I don't know. But no signal here. All right, it's popped up now. It's just wrong on the wrong input. All right, guys, just by the way, we don't have a PS5 disc with us because we're on the road. Didn't pick up a PS5 disc. Probably should have at Best Buy, but it's not a big deal. We'll do some B-roll back at the office and throw it on here. We'll continue without the disc for now. But I am, you know, like I mentioned, the thing I'm most curious about is if I sign in here and it's banned. So let's go ahead and try to sign in. I'm not sure if this is where we would get the message yet about being banned. Let's keep going. I won't be convinced until we download a game, but we are at the Welcome to PlayStation 5 home screen, which is a good sign. And of course, Asterisk Playroom, not downloaded here, but let's go ahead and download a game. I'm gonna download something small because we are currently using Danny's Wi-Fi hotspot. Let's see if we can, oh yeah, I'll download the biggest game I can find. 200 gigs of NBA 2K23. We'll be here for ages. All right, guys, we're downloading Rain World. Only 1.62 gigs. Probably gonna still take 3 minutes. Got a fast hotspot. We're here in Rain World now. Let's go ahead and see if that boots up. Rain World. Why am I having trouble saying that? No notification yet that we are banned, so that's good to see. And here it goes. It is booting up. So this console seems to work. Of course, we haven't tried the disk drive yet. We'll try that later. I just want to see if it makes a noise there. I guess I can try to plug this in the back here and make sure the USB ports work. Oh, the other thing I was going to try is I was going to try to boot up. Let's see, is this charging? Yeah, it's charging. So, all right, yeah, so all the USB ports are working. Let's go ahead and try to plug in the Modern Warfare 2 code and see if that works. I'm guessing it won't. I mean, you guys saw it's already scratched off. We'll try it anyway. All right, guys, code is on the screen. If it does work, I'm blocking it. Yep, there it is. Code has already been used. All right, Best Buy. Good stuff. I mean, I think we all assume this would happen. I can imagine this dude just sitting at home right now like, haha, I got them. I got Best Buy. I got this free code. Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, whoever bought this console actually opened it up and seemed to play it because there's fingerprints all over it. Honestly, I thought they would have opened it up and just pulled the code out and then returned it to Best Buy. Like, that would have made the most sense, honestly, from their scamming perspective. But yeah, we're going to message Best Buy, see if we can get a real code that works. So I want to bring up another alternative here, that maybe the guy didn't just open up the console and use it for a few minutes and then return it and use the code. Maybe he actually used it for a few months, which could make sense because we're in July now. This console was manufactured in December, so somewhere in there's probably a few months of usage here, and the controller actually is pretty worn down. So it almost seems like this guy used the console for a few months and then returned the whole thing, which makes the whole situation even worse because Best Buy is selling it as open box, and open box stuff is supposed to not be used. Like, it's stuff that people return in like poor condition or whatever, but it should not be a used product. So again, another knock on Best Buy here in Geek Squad. Like, this is all around, like, this is pretty sketch. And the next thing I want to do is turn this thing off. And I'm going to do, like, I don't know if I'm going to open it all the way, but I'm going to at least take the plates off and see if there's anything weird going on underneath the plates, see if they've opened it up before. But let's go ahead and check. All right, so here's the PS5, and again, another look at the surprise they left for me. Now let's go ahead and see if we can pop these plates off. Oh, came off really easily. Yeah, plate looks fine, not broken or anything. We've got, still have the warranty seal intact right there. Doesn't look like it's been pulled up. Got that sticker right there. Huh, oh, I think that must be the newer model one. I think they changed, I think I've seen this on a PS5 at some point where it was like a, newer model. I think had the smaller square. Yeah, so let's check the manufacturing date. It is December 2022, so fairly recent. And model CFI 1215A. So I think that is the newer model. So yeah, maybe the newer model is why it's got the smaller sticker there. I feel like I've seen that at some point, but I'm gonna take a screwdriver and see if we can pull off the SSD here and see if there's one in there. All right, I got this screw out, I think. Pull this up, and nope, no SSD there. Not surprising. That would have been a mess up on that person's part to leave the SSD in there if they did that. And let's go ahead and flip over and look at the other side of the plate. And yep, the plate looks good. And let's take a close look. Oh man, yeah, this definitely is a newer model. This was not on the older models, like the little gaps here. You can actually see the power supply, which is nice because sometimes the power supply accumulates a lot of dust, so maybe that'll help with dust there. I mean, this person probably used the PS5 for like 5 minutes, stole the code, and then dipped. But yeah, very interesting pickup. I paid $485 plus tax and stuff, so it was basically like a $15 discount, an absolute ripoff. I mean, it would have been, I think it actually would have been reasonable if they had included the code, because originally this is like $550, I think, so it would have been like a $65 discount, somewhere in that ballpark. And if we got the code, that's, you know, a pretty good discount. But of course, codes are deemed, and yeah, kind of unfortunate. We'll see if we can get the code from Best Buy. But thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, so here in this box is a refurbished PS5 that I bought from eBay. Pretty excited to open this thing up because I've opened a brand new PS5 before, but not a refurbished one. So basically, we're going to see what kind of condition it's in, make sure it works and all that good stuff. And refurbished consoles can be a bit sketchy because usually if it's refurbished, they replace something or fix something. So I'm interested to see what we got here. But yeah, let's go ahead and slice this bad boy open. The box is so large that it takes up my entire camera screen or camera field of view. So I'm assuming it's coming in the original box because it's so large, but I'm not sure. You know, the pictures, basically the pictures in the listing were super obscure. It was just a generic picture of the PlayStation 5. There were no actual pictures, so a bit sketchy. But let's see what we got in here. I'm trying not to slice too deep because I don't want to accidentally slice something inside. Now, before you open this thing up, if you want to support the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to see future content. And if you want to support monetarily, hit that join button and you can see my videos early. Had to slide around this way so I don't hit my mic with the flap here. And here we are. So we got some bubble wrap up top. Not much, but there is some bubble wrap. And we got a pretty nasty looking box here. Not nasty, but does not look great. It's got some like shipping tape up at the top and the box is ripped, so that's a great sign. Let's go ahead and take this box out and we'll take a closer look at it. Alright guys, so here it is, and like I said, I got some shipping tape that's kind of strapped up here and actually all the way around the box. And if you look at the side, there's actually one of these battery labels on the side, so I think they used the actual PS5 box to ship this thing at some point, which is not a great sign. But as you can see, we got a flap ripped up here, which is not the end of the world if the console's in good condition, but kind of annoying. Now if we flip this around up top, man, this thing is a beast. Yeah, the top is basically ripped all apart, kind of ripped on this side as well. Yeah, so that's not ideal. Flip over to this side, like I said, ripped there. Got your battery sticker there, which tells me this has been used as an actual shipping box before. Now here on the front, not much better. Pretty banged up, got tape all over it. And then last but not least, here on the bottom, got some more tape and kind of ripped up as well. So not ideal, but hopefully the box is not indicative of what's inside. All right, well, let's go ahead and slice this piece of tape right here. Only thing holding it in place is this one piece of tape. And there we go. All right, so now we got the outer box away. We got the main box here. You got your PlayStation logo on the front, and so this part actually looks a bit better. Got a rip up here, but nothing crazy. So let's go ahead and tilt this thing on the side and pull the console out, and hopefully the inside is in better condition than the outside. I'll be honest, guys, I hate how big this console is. It's just way too large. Alright guys, so first piece of the package out. This should have all of our accessories, so let's take a look at this real quick and make sure we got everything. Alright, so I got the PS5 controller, got a quick start guide, safety guide, got our power cable, which is wrapped up, and there should be, yep, an HDMI cable in here, and then that's the vertical stand. Alright, so it looks like we got all the accessories. That's good to see. So we'll put those to the side for now, and we'll take the console out, and then we'll look at everything, take a closer look at everything in a bit. Alright, so here is the actual console, and this thing is a beast. I mean, this box is just so large. It's got to be the biggest box I've ever unboxed. There's a lot of boxes in one sentence. Here we go. At least we got all the packaging still in here. Alright guys, so here is the console, and it looks pretty good at first glance. We're looking at the bottom right now, which is completely white. I don't see like any scuffs on it. There's like one scuff down there, but that's about it. And if we look at the top, it looks pretty good as well. The top does have a couple scuffs, like one right there, one along the side right there. You probably can't see that, but it does have a couple scuffs. And then the real thing I'm interested to see is the front, where you got the glossy part, and this thing actually does not look too bad. I want to wipe the dust away, but I don't even want to put my fingerprints on it because I know it'll start scratching it up. So I got this little microfiber cloth, which will probably scratch it up as well, but it's pretty much impossible with these glossy things. But it actually does not look bad. Hopefully you guys can see that in the light. It's clearly been used before. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a few little scratch marks around the USB port. So you know, basically when somebody comes in with a USB plug and tries to plug it in but misses and kind of scratches around the port, That's what I see there. If it was used, it doesn't seem like it was used for very long, because you'd think there'd be more scratches on that part. If you look at the top, not bad either. I don't see many scratches. I mean, I see a few scratches, but not many at all. And then here on the back side, looks a bit better because it's matte, it's not glossy, but you can also see the places here on the HDMI port, some scratches around the HDMI port where, you know, somebody goes to plug it in and misses and kind of scratches it up a little bit, but looks pretty good. And then if we look at the side, or I guess that's the bottom if you're standing vertically, looks pretty good as well. Now, actually looking a little bit closer at this part, I do see some scuffs around here, which is kind of odd because I'm not sure why I would see scuffs there, but oh well, overall it looks pretty good. So I'll put the PS5 to the side. We're going to take a closer look at this stuff. So quick start guide, safety guide, that stuff you never read, HDMI cable, which is an ultra high speed, so it should be an HDMI 2.1 cable. And then we got our stand right here, which I'm really interested to see if the screw is still in here, because that seems like something easy to lose. And nope, the screw is gone. I knew it. So basically, I'll show you closer up later, but on the PS5, when you use it vertically, you basically have to take a screw out of here and screw it into the bottom of the stand to help secure it, but that screw is missing, which I'm not surprised at all. So that's missing, and then we got power cable here, which looks good, and we got our PS5 controller, which is in a little baggie, but 95% sure this baggie is not what came with the PS5 originally. We'll take a look at that in a second. We also got a USB cable right here for charging. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the PS5 controller. Alright, so PS5 controller, the grips definitely feel real nice, like they've never been used. Buttons and everything are clicky. Everything seems to be fine. Looks pretty good. Couple scuffs on the back, but nothing crazy. I'll be interested to see how it still works and if the adaptive triggers still work properly and that sort of thing. So we kind of took a close look at everything. It looks pretty good so far, to be honest. Better than I thought it would be. So let's go ahead and plug this thing in and we'll test it out and make sure it actually works. Alright guys, so I got everything plugged in. Got the PS5 in vertical position right now, obviously. And let me just show you what not having the screw causes this thing to do. Basically, you can slide it in and out of the stand, which is definitely a concern because it'll slide out and fall over. So you really need that screw. And so, I thought it might be missing and it was, but that's unfortunate. I will show you though, I have this other stand I use for my PS5. I'll throw a link down in the description, but I think it's a lot better than the OG PS5 stand. It's a lot more sturdy. It does have a fan and stuff in it, but I don't use any of that stuff. I literally just use this thing for the stand because it's pretty nice and more sturdy. And one other thing I noticed is the PS5 power cord smells like smoke. You take that as you will, but let's go ahead and boot this thing up and make sure it works. So 3, 2, 1. All right, we got life. At least got some power. We got our blue lights here, one on each side, so that looks good. And then hopefully it'll pop up on the screen any day now. Maybe. I mean, it's definitely blue there. My light here is green. Ah, there we go. Okay, so it's repairing the console. Usually that means that somebody unplugged the power to this thing and did not turn it off properly, so I'm guessing that's what happened. But yeah, let's go ahead and try to connect this controller as well while it's doing that. Maybe not. Probably needs more power, so I'll probably have to plug it in. Alright, so it is booting up. We got that PS5 boot up sequence, which is pretty sweet if I do say so myself. And there we go. So let's go ahead and plug in our USB cord to the PS5 controller. And there we go. Boom. Should be a pretty quick setup. Alright, so connected up to my LAN cable. Alright, gotta adjust our area. Looks good. Adjust HDR. Alright, so this is a feature I don't remember when I set up my PS5, but apparently you can put in a game disc while you're setting up to let it go ahead and install. I just checked to make sure there wasn't a disc left in here, and unfortunately there was not. I have run into some instances in the past where people leave discs in their consoles when they sell them, which is kind of funny, but let's go ahead and just continue without the disc. Alright guys, so we're set up now. Welcome to PlayStation 5. So here we are, pretty bare bones right now. Just got your PlayStation Store, Media Gallery, and your game library. Over Media, you get your all apps and your app library. Once we put a game in here, we'll be able to see some more stuff. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and try out some games. Got Spider-Man Miles Morales for the PS5. We'll put that in there and make sure it works. And we got a PS4 game as well, just to make sure that's, the backwards compatibility works. So let's go ahead and slide this in. We're gonna have to let it install and stuff, so that might take a little while. Alright guys, so Spider-Man is now copied to the PS5. Also got an update file. And I also downloaded Astro's Playroom because it's a pretty good game to try out the PS5 controller features or the DualSense features. So we're going to go ahead and boot this up and test out the controller and make sure it all works. Alright, so here we are. I'm going to go ahead and test out the motion controls. Look good. Test out the touchpad. Looks good as well. The sound is definitely working on the speaker and the controller. Analog stick is clearly working. The rumble effects feel good as well. We'll go ahead and test out, the classic jump, punch. I don't think circle and triangle do anything right now. Oh, I didn't know that guy could hit me. Alright, let's go to, wherever the PlayStation Labo is. You can go in there, and you can pull basically a claw machine, and it'll basically let you test the adaptive triggers on the back. Alright, so I actually don't have enough coins to fully do it, but I can do it right here, and I can feel that the trigger is working correctly. And then I guess I cannot test this one yet because I don't have a ball to squeeze. So let's go ahead and I guess I'll go earn some coins and come back and we'll test that out. Alright guys, so it's unfortunate that I did not get this on camera, but like 10 seconds after I turned off the camera, the game crashed. I'm assuming this is just a software error, probably nothing wrong with the PS5, but you never know. So I'm going to try to play this a little bit more and hopefully we don't get any more errors. Alright, so I don't know if you guys can notice this. You probably can, but there's like some static on the screen right now, which I'm like 99% sure was not happening before. So something odd is going on. Hopefully it's a Astro Playroom software error and not something wrong with the console. But like I said, I'm going to keep testing it out and we're going to see what's going on with this thing. Alright guys, so I can't make this up. About 5 minutes in, actually it was more like 2 minutes in, crashed again. So I'm going to go ahead and test out Spider-Man Miles Morales, and hopefully that game works okay. Not really sure what's going on right now. I feel like it's a software error, so I feel like maybe if I delete Astro's Playroom and reinstall it, it'll be okay. But I'm not sure. Pretty odd stuff. Haven't had this issue on my personal PS5 yet, so I'm not sure what's going on. Alright guys, so I'm starting to think there's an issue with the PS5. So we're still on the Sony Interactive Entertainment Presents on the Spider-Man Miles Morales. And it's been like this for a good 45 seconds now. And I've played this on my personal PS5 and it does not take that long to boot up. I mean, it's PS5, this thing boots up like instantly. Not quite instantly, but pretty close. So yeah, I'm starting to think we got some issues. I'm starting to find out why this thing was refurbished. Alright guys, so yeah, something went wrong with this gamer app. So now I'm starting to think it's more than it's not just a software issue or it's a internal software hardware issue. I'm not sure. I'm gonna go ahead and do like a full restart on this thing, on this console, and see if that'll help things out. Alright guys, so I restarted and I booted up Spider-Man, and we are now stuck on the Marvel screen. It was booting up fine and just froze, and it's stuck. And in those couple minutes I started doing some research online and found a Reddit post that other people had this problem in the past, and I think my option right now is to try to rebuild or restart the PS4, or the PS5, basically factory reset, and see if that fixes it. If it doesn't, it sounds like this PS5 is still jacked up. So whatever they refurbished did not work. Alright, so we're on system software, reset options, and we're going to go ahead and just reset our console, which unfortunately means that all our games are going to be deleted and we'll have to reinstall them. But basically I'm going to reset this console, and if that doesn't fix it, then I think we have a hardware issue. Or I guess it's not necessarily hardware, but it's an internal software issue that's not specific to one game, and something I have to send it back to Sony to fix it. Alright guys, so we are back. I already did my full reset of the console, factory reset, and downloaded Astro's Playroom again. So let's go ahead and boot this guy back up, and hopefully it works this time. Alright, so I'll go ahead and say I'm not confident because I already see that static again. I don't know if you guys can see that. You probably can if you look closely. But basically there's like little black dots that were... Oh, yep. There it goes. So the black dots show... And the black dots actually disappeared about 5 seconds before it did that, and then it froze, and it's gone now. So this PS5 is toast. I don't know what they sent me. I don't know what was repaired or what was refurbished. Honestly, at first when I opened this thing up, I thought it was, like a customer return or something, since the PS5 controller looks good. The PS5 itself looks pretty good. But the fact that I'm turning this thing on and it's having these issues, I feel like, somebody probably had these issues in the past, returned it, and yeah, they just kind of sent it back out without actually refurbishing it or fixing it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to do. I don't think there's any other options other than just a full reset, which I've done now. Basically, it started out when I booted it up as it had just been factory reset because I had to do everything from scratch, and I did another factory reset. I'll do a little bit more research before I close out this video, but yeah, it looks like we got screwed. I don't think I've told you how much I paid for this. I'm not gonna tell you, but I guess I'm getting all my money back because, this thing does not work as it should. So just wanted to let you guys know that I'm running through this process right now. I made sure the system was updated and everything. I just cleared the cache. I'm gonna rebuild the database, and then I'm gonna do this option where it says reset PS5 in parentheses reinstall system software, which I guess seems to be even more intensive than just resetting the PS5. So we'll try that out and we'll see if that helps anything. Alright guys, so a little update. Tried playing a PS4 game. Tried playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 for the PS4, and it actually worked. It didn't crash. Played it for about 10 minutes and it worked. Went back to Astro's Playroom and it worked for a while. Then I put the Miles Morales disc in and played Astro's Playroom and it crashed. There's a mixed bag of things happening. So I'm going to go ahead and do the full system reset, where basically you boot up into safe mode, and then you basically reset the console and also reinstall the system software, and we're going to see if that does anything. Alright guys, so it is time. I basically did a full console reset and a reinstallation of the system software. Took forever, but we're back and finally reinstalled Astro's Playroom. So let's go ahead and boot this up again and we'll see if it works this time. I don't have high hopes, but I guess you never know. Alright, yeah, so bad sign. I'm looking close and you can see the black flashing dots. So I read on Reddit that somebody was saying that's GPU artifacting, and it already froze. So yeah, this PS5 is trash. Alright guys, well officially this thing is going back to the seller. They definitely did not refurbish anything, or if they did, they didn't do a very good job of it. But yeah, this thing is trash, and this should tell you everything you need to know about refurbished consoles from eBay. I guess hopefully I'll get my money back, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like down below and subscribe. Also check out my website for my merch and my consoles and stuff. And yeah, thanks for watching guys. Hope you enjoyed the video and have a great day. I bought a custom PS5 console for $850, and in this video, we're going to unbox it, test it out, tear it down, and see if it's any good. Alright, so basically I sent this guy this console, and then he modded it and sent it back in the box. So it should be basically brand new other than the mods, but let's pull it out and see what's inside. Ooh, we got a little handwritten note. So this note's pretty nice. It says, "Hey man, thank you for allowing me opportunity to do a custom job on your PS5. It's for sure one of a kind now. I hope you're happy with it. It was a fun project. Take care unpacking it, minimize any chance of scratching it." Alright, so first we'll pull out the box with the controller that already fell out. We also have this little remote control, which I assume is for the lights that are built into the console. And let's take a look at this controller because I believe he did a custom paint job on this thing. Let's go ahead and pull it out. Oh, okay. Ooh, dude, that's pretty sweet. It's got like that color shifting vibe to it, purple and blue. And yeah, this part right here is still the same. We got a silver touchpad, purple and blue on the sides. And, ooh, silver on the back. Oh, that's clean. We got the little Sony logo on top. That's a nice touch. Yeah, I like that. That is pretty sweet. And then, of course, next up, we got to pull out the console, which I'm going to try to be careful with. And, oh, no, it came, oh, it's magnetic. That's why it came out of place. Okay. I was like, what is going on here? Wait, that is actually, dude, that's pretty sweet. Okay, hold on. Let me get this out of the way so I can look at it closer. All right, guys, so here it is. This is the custom PS5. Now, unfortunately, it looks like it came a little damaged in transit. Yeah, that's unfortunate. All right, so this glass piece right here is magnetized to these pieces here, but the magnets are super glued to it, but a couple of the magnets came loose. As you can tell, 1, 2, 3 of the magnets are just missing, which is a little unfortunate. But ignoring the glass for now, we do have the same vibe with the color shifting paint as the controller. So at this angle it looks blue, at this angle it looks purple. Oh, I don't know what kind of paint you call that, but that's pretty sweet. It does have like a little bit of a crackling effect to it, honestly. I don't know if that's intentional or if that just happened over time with the paint. I don't know, and some of it is actually scratched up a bit from, I guess, that glass bouncing around in transit. That's unfortunate. But overall, the paint job does still look really good. And it doesn't smell like paint, which is a good sign because most of the other custom consoles I've bought that were painted actually still smelled like paint. So I don't know anything about that process, but whatever curing process he did here must have fixed that. Now, actually, let me take a closer look at this plate again. We do have, it does say PlayStation 5 on it, that's actually kind of cool. So this is essentially like a PlayStation 3 logo, but he threw in a 5 instead of a 3, which I like that. That's pretty cool. Taking a closer look at the inside of this thing, it looks like he painted it, what do you call this, like gunmetal silver? Some sort of paint color like that. This little piece right here. We've got this piece around the fan right here, and these are, dude, this is really smooth. Oh yeah, that's a nice cut right there. So all these cuts are very smooth, look really good. I don't see any visible lights right off the bat. That's a common issue I see with a lot of custom consoles I buy, where there's just like LED lights kind of strewn across the heat sinks like so, and that sort of thing. It just looks ugly, but this looks really nice if you can get the glass fixed. Now, let's flip this thing over and see what the back side or bottom side looks like here. So pretty similar. We got the same type of paint where it looks blue at one angle and purple at the other angle, which I really like that color shifting kind of vibe to it. Now this side looks a little better. I don't think it hasn't gotten scratched up as much. There is still just like some wear and tear, which is expected. It is a custom console. It's not straight from factory. Let's take a look at the front here. So it looks like a standard PS5 in the front. You still got your, of course, glossy black that's going to get scratched up immediately, of course. Now flipping to the back. Ooh, okay. The back has this like silver gunmetal kind of look going on as well, which I really like. It's almost the same color as the Batman PS4 console. I bought that brand new a long time ago when that came out in like 2014, I think. Now the one disappointing thing here is that this is a USB cable, which kind of, not gonna lie, kills the look a little bit. It's not a big deal if it's sitting in your entertainment system, but honestly, I think it's just a better look to splice these wires into the USB port or somewhere on the board to get power rather than just plugging it straight into USB. Yeah, so bottom's got this silver, kind of silver color going as well. Overall, the paint job looks really nice. My main issues so far are just the fact that the glass fell out of place, and we have a USB cord hanging on the back here. But let me see if I can try to fix this whole glass situation real quick. All right, guys, so I got some Gorilla Glue on these magnets to try to get them back in place so they at least stick there and I can get the full look. Now, I'm not sure why we're not using like screws or something in place of magnets here. I think that just would have obviously held it down together better and looked a little better and not have fallen apart like that. And a few other things I've noticed here, the painting on the front is actually like pretty bad. The crackling is just, it's all over it. I mean, it doesn't look terrible because it's kind of a cool design, but my worry is that down the line that might, keep cracking and just look really bad. Let's go ahead and wait for this to dry, and then we'll try to boot the console up and get the full effect here. So actually, I think I'll turn this thing on without getting the glass all the way down because, as you can see, the glass is still coming apart. I think it's going to take me forever to get some glue that actually dries and will actually stick because, I mean, as you can see, the glass is bending here, which it has to do because of the shape of the PS5, which means there's a lot of pressure pulling away from that glue on those magnets. So I don't know if I'll even be able to get it to stick long term. But I'll try that out later. We can get mostly the full effect here without it sticking all the way. But let's go ahead and plug this thing on and turn it on. Now I am curious what software version we're on because this is a brand new MW2 console, which came out like a year and a half ago. So I don't know if it's old enough to be hackable, but let's check it out. Gotta put my glasses on for this one. We're on 5.1. That sounds old. Let's go ahead and look that up. Yes, it appears that 5.10 is not jailbreakable yet, but I might leave it on here just in case because it is still somewhat older software. Yeah, so in the end, this whole firmware thing didn't even matter because my console later on in rest mode just updated by itself without me knowing because apparently I didn't turn off a setting, which is just awesome. Now, what we haven't done yet is actually plug in our USB here and test out the lights. Okay, yeah, I can see some lights in there. Let me turn my studio lights off so we can see this a little better. All right, so I guess the reason I didn't see any LEDs in here is because they're hidden in the fan back this way. I'll take a picture and show you guys, but honestly, the lights don't add a whole lot. Like there's a little bit of light here, which is, it's kind of nice that it's not too overbearing with the lights. Here's what it looks like from the front, and you can see it's just like there's a little bit of light there in the middle, but nothing crazy. I don't know. Let's change some colors and stuff and just see what it looks like. All right, so this thing is actually this remote's kind of cool. It's got like a touchpad so you can change the lights on the fly with your little wheel right there. And you can also, of course, make it pulse and just do some other stuff. You can make it brighter, darker, all that just like standard LED stuff. Now, the other thing I will add here that I'm a little concerned about is the fact that we do have a pretty large gap between the console and the glass right here. And as you guys know, the standard PS5 is just obviously flat on the top so that the fan pushes air out the back, across the heat sink, so it's pushing that hot air out the back. I am a little concerned here that our fan's just going to kind of leak out the top and our heat's just going to sit here on the heat sinks and not actually get pushed out the back, which is probably okay because the PS5 is pretty heat efficient, except for this one's a little bit older. Not sure what model this is. So I don't know, that is a little bit concerning. It might cause issues over time. I'm actually curious what the heat sinks feel like right now. They're not that hot, but that's not surprising because we're on the main menu. So I just wanted to hop in here and say that it's kind of my fault this console has this design with the giant gaping hole between the plexiglass and the console. Basically, I found a picture of a very similar console on Instagram. I messaged the guy on Instagram and said, hey, can you make me one as well? And so he made me one. And in the end, I just didn't look closely enough at the first picture that there was a big hole between the plexiglass and the console, so I just didn't realize it Obviously, I realize that now, so it's my fault. I asked that for that specific design. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. So I guess the real test is to play a game and just see how much heat we're pushing out here. But right now, I'm not feeling much heat out the back, which is kind of expected because first of all, we're on the main menu. Second of all, I think a lot of air is leaking out the top here. But let's play some Astro's Playroom and just see what happens. So yeah, I played some Astro's Playroom, and the console is pushing out some hot air out the back. So it's probably fine. I would just be a little concerned about more intensive games that are, really working the PS5 hard, like the Final Fantasy game that came out recently that was known for pushing PS5s. That could cause issues on a console like this. But for now, it's okay. The heat sinks are getting hot, obviously, but I just think there's just probably a little too much air leaking out the top here. But honestly, we're not looking for maximum efficiency here. We're just looking for cool looks. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and do a thermal test here. So console here on the right is the custom PS5. Console on the left is a normal PS5. And I'll tell you right off the bat, just to ignore the heat signature on the top of the custom PS5 because the reflections on the glass kind of mess up thermal readings, so just ignore that. But looking at the back, you can see on the custom PS5, in our hottest spot, we have almost 140 degrees, that's Fahrenheit. And then here on the normal PS5, our hottest spot is like 127, 128. And so basically that's like a 10-degree difference. And what I'm noticing is here on the normal console, there's lots of warm air that's being pushed out, which makes sense. That's how a normal console is. But on the custom console, we're getting lots of hot air that's being pushed out a little bit. And I mean, just putting my hand here, the air feels just a bit more stale, which makes sense because it's not being pushed out as quite as efficiently. But ultimately, I think you're probably fine on most normal, non-intensive games. But if you start playing some intensive games on this custom PS5 for long periods of time, I think you're going to probably run into some issues. So taking this thing apart will be interesting to say the least. First, of course, we're going to take off this piece right here that is still not glued together. Now, we of course need to take off our faceplates, but I'm not sure exactly. Oh, okay, they just popped right off yeah, it's not much left there, and you can see, okay, so we got kind of a paint ring around here, and the internal part is still white. I will say the cuts here are pretty nice, like they're nice and smooth, a whole lot nicer than most of the cuts I see on most custom consoles. So despite the flaws in this console, the cuts are very nice, very clean, so from what I can see. All right, that one popped off a lot easier. And same deal here, still white on the inside. And, looking at the inside of this thing, I really like the gunmetal silver. I don't know if that's what it's called, but that actually looks really nice all over the console. Honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to just a gunmetal silver PS5 console. Like, it just looks nice. But let's go ahead and tear it all the way down and see what's going on inside of this thing. Oh, what's funny? The warranty seal is still here, although clearly peeled off. Might as well just leave it off. All right, let's try to remove this piece right here, and there we go. All right, so looking inside of this thing, let me show you where the LEDs start and end. So we have some LEDs kind of starting right there, and they run around the outside of the fan, essentially, all the way around here to the USB hub. USB hub transfers to a USB cable that plugs into the back. But yeah, so other than the LEDs you just saw here, I don't see anything else modified on this side of the console. No painting, no modifications, that sort of thing. I will say it is very clean. I've seen a lot of people that mod consoles and leave the inside of the console just dirty, which is kind of counterintuitive, so that's a plus here. It is very clean inside. Now, like I mentioned earlier, it would have been nice not to have this USB cable, which, by the way, there was a little piece that had to be cut out there to fit the USB cable at the back. But yeah, let's go ahead and flip this thing over and see what's going on the other side. So again, flipped over to this side, it's where most of the action is happening. Of course, you have your giant cutout here, you have your logo from the modder. I do like the heatsink design. It just looks cool aesthetically through a glass window, so I think it's a cool idea. Let's go ahead and take this side off and just see what's going on underneath it. All right, got this whole piece off, and I will say the other very nice thing here is that we don't have LED wires straddling across multiple pieces, which is what most modders I've seen do, is where they have like LEDs straddled across the motherboard to the casing, and it's just really hard to take apart. So I'm looking into this whole USB cable situation a little bit more now, and yeah, there's definitely 4 pins on the port, there's 4 wires in the cable, there's 2 wires for data, 2 wires for power, and so I don't see why we couldn't have just wired it and soldered it into the port internally instead of, plugging it in externally. I guess let me know down below if you have any differing opinions on that, or if you have an experience doing that. I feel like that would have been a bit cleaner. So overall, I'd give this custom console a 7 out of 10, and just for a little breakdown, I paid $500 for the console brand new, shipped it off to the guy, he modified it for $350, and I think for the result we got here, I think $350 was a bit steep, but I also don't know how much time he spent and how much time he put into it, that sort of thing. But again, let me know down below what you guys think, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I bought refurbished PS5 consoles from both Wish and GameStop, and in this video, we're going to unbox them, test them out, tear them down, and see if either of them are any good. So let's start with the GameStop PS5 here, and man, this thing is humongous. And according to my packing slip, I paid $445 for this thing. Well, let's go ahead and open up this box and see what's inside. First, we get this massive white box, which I assume has all the accessories and stuff. We also have our console down here and these custom foam pieces that are actually intact. We'll start with the console here, take a look at this bad boy and see how it looks. So top plate right here, oh yeah, we get that magic eraser magic right there. Oh yeah. Now surprisingly, wow, the middle portion, they did not take a magic eraser to it. I mean, it doesn't look great, but doesn't look as bad as it would if they had a magic eraser to it. Now looking at the top piece here, ooh, this one looks really bad. They went all over this thing with a magic eraser, which is awesome. Now, flipping to the bottom, let's see which PS5 model we have. This one was manufactured in September of 2021, and it's the CFI 1115A. Putting the console to the side, let's open up this big white box and see what's inside of here. First of all, have this nice little Sony PS5 system setup, which is, I've given this thing some crap in the past, but it's actually pretty useful for people that don't know how to set it up. We have a random HDMI cable, we have a power cable, we have our horizontal stand and vertical stand. Let's see if the screw is inside of here. Oh, it is. Nice. Congratulations, GameStop. You passed that test. We also have our USB-C cable, and then last but not least, we have our DualSense controller. Let's see how this bad boy looks. We got one of the classic GameStop stickers on it, and it appears to not have been magic erased, which is outstanding. I will take it. Man, this thing actually looks pretty good. Surprising. Let's put that to the side. Let's open up the Wish PS5. I'll never understand why these Wish packages come in these giant black boxes, but it is what it is. Now, searching down in here, we do have, what in the world? This is like all the OEM PS5 stuff minus the exterior box. That is random. A quick start guide here. We've got some more packaging. We have our stand here, which is actually in the original packaging. Again, why? All right, I'll take it though. Ooh, yeah, it's got the screw. Nice. And a little baggie here, our USB-C cable, HDMI, and power cable. Of course, our DualSense controller, and a nice little wraps up bubble wrap bag. And ooh, this thing looks nice. I mean, the sticks look like they're brand new. The back looks brand new as well. Yeah, I don't think this controller has ever been used. Let's go ahead and pull this piece out and see what it looks like. Okay, so we have the original foam pieces on the side, but then we have this little wrapping right here, which is just a makeshift thing from Wish. It's so random. It's like half OEM stuff, half just random packaging. Better than no OEM stuff at all. But of course, here's the console, and what in the world? Wait, what happened here? Oh, that's just a bunch of like cardboard dust. Thing is scratched up pretty good, and dude, look at that giant scratch on the USB port. I mean, it doesn't matter if it works, but that's not great to see. Now, flipping to the back, ports look good. Flipping to the bottom, this thing was manufactured in August of 2022, and it's a CFI 115 or 1115, just like the other PS5 from GameStop. Now, flipping to the top plate looks really good, and bottom plate looks really good as well. Much better than the GameStop PS5. But let's go ahead and just start with the GameStop PS5, plug it in, see if it works. But let's turn this bad boy on, see if it works. We got power, no free game. Let's go ahead and see if the controller will connect up. Wait, hold on. Wait. So I'm booting this thing up, and we're on the home screen now, which is a good sign, but dude, this PS5 controller is jacked up. The faceplate, or the touchpad is coming loose. Like, you can see the LED straight from inside of there. Wait, hold on. So you can see right there, like, that is very exposed. I guess it probably doesn't matter as long as it works, but dude, only GameStop. Every time, it's something with GameStop. Yeah, we're booted up here. Let's go ahead and sign in. Actually, before we sign in, I want to see what system software we're on, because I bought this thing quite a while ago, so we could be on an old dashboard that's jailbreakable. Probably not, but let's check. Okay, so we're on 6.02, which appears to be from October of 2022, so quite a while ago. Now, it looks like that is not jailbreakable yet, so I'll probably update. Yeah, I gotta update if I want to sign in and do really anything, so I guess let's update it. Oh, no. No, dude, look at this. All right. Oh, wait, no, now it's okay. Okay, so before, I was going around the main menu, and I went to the right and went back to the left by itself. I'm so confused. 30 seconds ago, it was going to the left by itself, but not anymore. I guess it's a good thing. That was just, okay, whatever. Let's put a game in and see if it works. So I put the game in, and it's installing right now, but I decided to go ahead and download Astro's Playroom and go ahead and test the controller. So I'm a little suspect of this thing from the problems I've been having. Now, adaptive triggers, let's see if these bad boys work. These are usually where the issues are. Nope, those are okay. Touchpad. Yeah, touchpad works despite the fact that it has a gaping hole there. Motion sensor, let's see if this works. Yup, oh yeah. Controller works. Now, game's booted up. We'll test out the game for a few minutes, but first of all, I want to get a sniff test on this thing. Okay, no, it smells normal. You guys might think that's weird, but that's how I discovered that the other PS5 from GameStop was going to have roaches in it, because I smelt it and it was like, it just smelled off. Let's play this game a little bit and make sure this console doesn't overheat or anything. Wait, hold on. No. No, there's definitely something going on. I got stick drift or something. Like, just watch this. If I go forward, why is he going to the side like that? It's like random. Now it's working fine. What is going on with the controller? And then it glitches. There it goes. There it goes again. Guys, like it is absolutely insane how many PS5s I've purchased that have had issues, like between banned consoles, consoles that smell like roaches, consoles that have bad GPUs, consoles that have fan unplugged, a plethora of issues that I've found across PS5s. And it's not even, all these consoles were like refurbished or used, and consoles that are supposed to be fully working, but they all have had issues. I've had like maybe one that worked without an issue. Just GameStop things, but other than that, this console is working. Like it's been playing for like 5 or 10 minutes. I feel a good amount of heat coming out the back, so I'm confident it'll run. But let's go back and turn this bad boy off and turn on the Wish PS5 and see if that's any better. So guys, I have the Wish PS5 plugged in, and I noticed that the plate on top looks odd. Like it's a completely different material than, like this is my OG PS5 plate, and it's very smooth. This one is very rough. I'll throw a picture on the screen of just the texture difference there. Are there third-party plates for the PS5 that look exactly the same? Like this looks really good, but it's just a completely different texture that I've never seen on a PS5 before. And this one over here doesn't have it either. I don't know, let's turn this bad boy on, see if it works and see if it's banned. And I am actually a bit concerned this might be banned, because the way this happened is I bought the PS5 from Wish, I saw it was banned, returned it, and as soon as Wish had another PS5 in stock, I immediately ordered it, just on the off chance that they restocked the same banned PS5. Wait, hold on a second. So I just booted up this console, and is Gran Turismo here? No, it's not. Hold on. Wait, I'm having flashbacks now. So when I bought the PS5 from Wish earlier this year, I might have tested Gran Turismo Sport on it. What is going on here? Okay, so I'm connected to the internet, but I haven't logged into PSN yet because I have to update the system. But let's first go to the system, check out the system software, console information. We're on 5.5, wow. So I went back and looked at the footage of the last Wish PS5 that I bought, and I couldn't find any footage of the firmware version or the MAC address, so I'm not sure if it's the same PS5, but it is really sketchy that it's Gran Turismo is halfway installed, because I have a copy of Gran Turismo Sport that I use for testing, just because that's just what I randomly had on hand one day. So let's go ahead and try to connect to internet, update this bad boy, and see what happens. So we got it updated, and I'm pretty sure when I try to sign in is when it notifies me if I'm banned or not, or if the account or the console is banned. So let's go ahead and see what happens here. Will it be banned? Please, please, please work, please work. And oh, I think it works. Yes, it's working. Oh my goodness. Dude, I still can't believe the last time when I bought this PS5 and it was banned. I was about to put a game in to test, but now the controller is not updating. Like it keeps disconnecting itself. Okay, 3 tries later, it's updated. Now we have, let's go and put a game in, make sure that works. I guess we'll put in Gran Turismo since it's already halfway installed. We'll also download Astro's Playroom, make sure that works, and test out the controller. Wait, hold on, did I just do a quick resume from one console to the next? I pressed resume activity and it loaded me up at this screen where I was in the, that's pretty sweet, I didn't know you could do that. I don't know if that's quick resume, but let me turn off the sound and we'll test out the controller. So I did the little demo and everything works fine. Game's working. We'll play the game for a few minutes and make sure console runs smoothly, but so far so good. I've been playing Astro's Playroom for like 10 minutes and it's working fine, putting out some heat out the back as I'd expect. Last but not least though, we gotta do the sniff test to see if there's any roaches inside. Nope. Smells like a normal console. Now, next thing I actually want to do is a thermal camera test between these two consoles just to see if they're running about the same, just because why not? So let's boot them both up, both play Astro's Playroom, and we'll do some testing. So here on the thermal camera, I have the Wish PS5 on the right side, GameStop PS5 on the left side, and it's actually not an apples-to-apples comparison because I could not boot up Astro's Playroom on both consoles at the same time because of licensing issues, but still interesting to look at. And I will actually note that over here on this PS5 from Wish, there's a pretty loud, it's not that loud, but there's like a buzzing noise coming from the power supply, which I think is somewhat typical with PS5s, but just something to note. Let's go ahead and open these consoles up though and see what's going on the inside. So we'll start with the GameStop PS5 first and just pop the plates off and see what's going on underneath. This one looks normal. Yeah, nothing crazy there. Let's flip it over to the other side. All right, pop that side off. And you can see that this console has never been opened up because the warranty seal is still there. And then of course we have the big sticker right here, which I need to peel up. It was kind of like peeling up a little bit already, so it looks like it may have been peeled up before. I don't know. We'll go ahead and take this thing apart though to see how what it looks like on the inside, because the last PS5 I bought from GameStop was not opened either and it had roaches inside. So let's go ahead and open it up. All right, got the fan assembly off. Let's go ahead and check out the fan first. And it looks a little dusty, but yeah, not bad at all. And I didn't really mention it yet, but it is funny, of course. As always, we still have the warranty sticker on here, so it hasn't been opened up, which means it wasn't actually fully refurbished. Just, you know, we don't expect anything different from GameStop, but let's finish opening it up. All right, got the screws off, got this top piece off. Looks pretty clean. Now let's go ahead and flip to this other side here, and yeah, actually looks pretty good. Heat sinks are clean. I don't really see any dust caked anywhere, so there is a chance GameStop did actually open this up and clean it, and only if they have access to those warranty stickers, which they might. Maybe they have a deal with Sony. I would doubt it, but there's always a chance. But let's put this to the side and open up the Wish PS5. All right, pop the plate off of the Wish PS5. Looks pretty good. I'm still trying to figure out if this is like some sort of third-party plate. You know, it's definitely not third-party. It's just completely different texture, which is strange. It really does not matter. I don't know. It's interesting to see these different components of different PS5s. Let's take off the other side as well. Looks good. And wait, hold on. It looks like at some point somebody took off this sticker and this sticker because they're both completely misaligned. They could be like that from factory, but I doubt it because that's like pretty well misaligned. Let's go ahead and peel this sticker off, and underneath it looks, you know, normal, of course. Let's go ahead and peel off the warranty seal and see what's going on underneath that. All right, screws are out. Let's take the top piece off. Looks pretty normal, and I'm just gonna look into the side right here and look at the heat sinks, and yeah, those look clean as well. So yeah, I'd say both these PS5s are fine. Of course, the GameStop had the issue with the controller, and either way, I still wouldn't really recommend them because of the issues I've had in the past with both Wish and GameStop, and the fact that you can go on eBay and find one cheaper and see actual pictures of it. That's just my opinion, but let me know down below what you guys think, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I bought the brand new PS5 Slim from eBay, and in this video, we're gonna unbox it, test it out, tear it down, and see if it's any good. So I did buy this console from eBay because I found an authorized seller that was selling the console a couple days ahead of when it came out, so decided to take a chance on it, kind of sketch, I don't know. Let's open it up and see what's inside. And no, yeah, that's the Slim. So a couple things about the box right off the bat. The Slim box here on the left is obviously a good bit smaller than the fat box here on the right. The one downside is the fat box did have a handle on top for carrying it around. Slim box does not. Not a big deal, just something to note. But other than that, the box is pretty similar to the original PS5 box. You just have, you know, your giant line through the console here, and supposedly the console is a good bit smaller. Also comes with Spider-Man 2, which is nice because that's like a $70 game. And then flipping to the side, it'll tell us exactly what we come with here. So we have the console, the disk drive, which can be detached, so we're gonna play around with that as well. We also got, you know, the horizontal stand feet, all the other standard stuff. But guys, let's go ahead and open the box up and see what's inside. So as per usual, Sony uses a cheap slipcover over the actual box. Now let's go ahead and open this up and see what's inside of here. All right, first up we have our power cord, and these are horizontal stands. Dude, oh my gosh, those are so cheap. Wow, okay, well, we'll figure that out later. Here on the left side, we should have our controller, cool. And then of course we have our manual, quick start guide, whatever stuff here. And then we got our PS5 Slim, which right off the bat, yeah, that is a good bit smaller, but it does not feel lighter at all. Interesting. All right, guys, so here's the console pulled out of the plastic wrap, and man, right off the bat, that dang glossy from Sony, this thing's gonna get scratched up immediately. I already see a few small micro scratches. I don't know why they couldn't just make the whole thing matte. So basically, let me just explain. We have a matte plate right here, we have a glossy plate right there, and then flipping it over to the bottom, we have another glossy plate and then a matte plate, and of course, this is your disk drive right here. So this actually detaches somehow, and you can basically make this a Slim console. You can also buy the Slim console, buy a separate disk drive, put it together, and make yourself a disc console, but that costs like $50 more than just buying the disc console. It's a very confusing, Sony's made it very confusing. But yeah, just taking a look at this right off the bat, it looks very similar to a PS5. And we got, you know, your power button down here. We've got our USB, two USB-C ports actually instead of a USB-A and USB-C. And then flipping to the back, I guess the other thing I noticed here is they have this blue tape. I'm not sure what that's there for, to hold the plates in place. I don't know. We also have an HDMI cable, of course, LAN port, two USB ports, and a power port. And I do like these little, they have a nice touch here of the symbols kind of just engraved into the console. Also here on the bottom, which is just, you know, a nice touch. Now flipping to the top, that's bad. So if you guys remember on the fat PS5, which I'll pull out for comparison here in a second, but it had like little grates all around the edges here. This one does not have that. It's just like an open gap. Like just for comparison, here on the right-hand side we have our Slim, here on the left-hand side we have our fat. And you can see right off the bat from a top-hand view, it actually is a good bit smaller, but hopefully you can see what I'm saying. Like the PS5 Fat has these nice little grates all around the edges there. This one has basically nothing, just some like supports inside, so it's very ugly if you look at it that way. Not a huge fan of that. Now let's go ahead and compare them side by side and take a look dimensionally what the differences are. So again, here on the left is the Fat, here on the right is the Slim. It's really not that much smaller in terms of size difference, so you put them on top of each other, you can see that, yeah, just not that much smaller. So it is slimmer, but it's like, it takes up the same amount of space, guys. I mean, it's like the same shape. You're not like taking up less space in your cabinet or your shelf or whatever, which is the frustrating part. Like I thought they would have made it like an actually slim device that can just sit better in your entertainment system, like a Series X, Series S type of deal. But no, they had to go with the same design, just make it slightly smaller. Now to be fair, it definitely is lighter and easier to carry around, which is nice. Now let me go ahead and take off this blue tape and just see what else we got going on here on the outside. All right, so let's try to put on this horizontal stand. If you guys, just in case you don't know, like on the fat PS5, it came with a stand that could be horizontal or vertical. This one actually only comes with a horizontal stand, so you have to buy a separate vertical stand for $30, which is just like, come on, man, that's so janky. But I think the horizontal stand just clicks into place here. Let's try this out. It sits down like so, which is, honestly, that's nicer than the other horizontal stand that originally came with the fat PS5, but still super janky. Feels very cheap just to have these little plastic pieces in the bottom. Oh man, what in the world? Now putting that PS5 to the side for a second, I did actually buy another one. The other model, I don't know if it's actually a different model, but it comes with a different game. So I'm gonna open this one up as well and see if there's any differences. So yeah, the MW3 one is here on the left side. It came with the exact same stuff, just a Modern Warfare 3 code instead of Spider-Man. Anyways, let's go ahead and plug one of these in, see if it works, and just see how it's different. All right, we're all plugged up. Let's go ahead and see what it does. So 3, 2, 1. And we still have some lights. We got a light here on the bottom, and that's about all I see. There's no lights over on this side, and that appears to be about it. Now we do have an update. I'm gonna go ahead and do this later so we can see what update it starts out on, and then we'll update later. Oh, so as soon as I boot up, it says can't use your disk drive. Please restart to use it. Man, so even, so I remember hearing about this or reading about this a few weeks ago. You can't use a disk drive unless you connect to the internet, which is like, seems fine now. Everybody connects to the internet, it's whatever. But you know, definitely gonna be an issue 20 years down the line when you're trying to sell your PS5 and the PlayStation Network is not up anymore and you don't have a way to like swap out a disk drive and activate it. Okay, here it is. So I restarted and it says your disk drive is connected to your PS5. To use your disk drive, register it to your PS5. All right, let's see what that means. Okay, so yeah, it says you can't use your disk drive unless you update to the latest system software. So here it is. It is now updating the disk drive. I actually wonder, I don't want to try it. I mean, I do want to try it, but I don't want to try it. But I wonder what would happen if while you're updating, you just remove the disk drive. Like, would it brick your disk drive? I don't know. I might try it. Should I? I don't know. Your disk drive is connected to your PS5. Use your disk drive, register it to your... Dude, how many things do I have to do to use my dang disk drive? Come on. Now, one other thing I forgot to mention is we actually do have more storage space in this device. We have 1 terabyte instead of like 825 gigs or whatever was on the PS5 Fat, so that's nice. Now, next up, we of course got to test out the disk drive, make sure that works. Here I have my Spider-Man PS5 game that Best Buy sent me back. That was, I'll put the video on the screen if you want to check that out, but that was an interesting situation. Let's just make sure this disk drive actually works though. So Spider-Man finished installing, and I have a couple notes about the disk drive. So first of all, the disk drive is still very loud when it's installing a game, but other than that, I think it's actually an improvement because when you eject a disk or put a disk in, it feels very smooth, very quiet. You can see it coming out right now. And by the way, there is a new disk drive eject button right here instead of being up here, which is nice. And yeah, we put it back in and it just feels a lot smoother than the fat PS5. Now let's go ahead and boot this game up and just see how loud this console gets while it's running a game. So I'm just swinging around in Spider-Man. I also did a fight, and the PS5 is very quiet. Like my PS5 at home when I'm playing Spider-Man gets pretty loud sometimes, but this one is very quiet, pushing out a lot of heat, which is good. So yeah, so far so good. But let's go ahead and turn this console off now, tear it down, and see what's happening on the inside. All right, so I have no idea how to take these plates off. I have not watched any videos, but I would assume we do something similar to the fat PS5. Oh gosh, okay, so there's just some clips on here that come out very, very violently. And yeah, so there's the first plate. It just looks like a plate chopped in half, which is interesting. All right, and there's our fan. Okay, so the fan is definitely a lot smaller. We have this little webbed grill that almost looks like it's supposed to be from Spider-Man. That's kind of funny. And let's go ahead and take this one off as well, I guess. All right, got that one off. And the other thing I noticed, I actually saw this in the manual, is each one has a different symbol there. So we got our X, we have our square on this one. That cover comes off as well. And we got the triangle, and you can also see the fan on this side. So we got 4 screws. We don't have to pull off that weird trim piece that's on the fat PS5. And there's our M.2 SSD slot. So let's go ahead and open that up. All right, so M.2 is basically the same deal as the other one. You take this screw and this panel off, and you can put, of course, your M.2 SSD in there. Now, next up, let's go ahead and try to take the disk drive off and see how that comes apart. That's the part I'm most curious about, and it looks like, oh, that's just the cover. Okay, so we just have a cover there, and then the actual disk drive right here. I see like 5 or 6 screws, I think, that you remove. Let's go ahead and do that and see what happens. So yeah, never mind. There's no screws here that you need to take out. You basically just pull it up in the back. It'll come up loose from this piece right here, and there's 2 clips that come out of place. And yeah, that's actually pretty neat. So this is nice for repairability, because if you want a new disk drive and your old one breaks, you just buy a new one, swap it in. Of course, that becomes an issue later down the line, like we talked about with the whole have to connect to online to register and that sort of thing. One other thing I want to try out here, so let me go ahead and take off this little piece here, and as you guys can tell with this fan, It's very easy to swap out the fan, which is nice. You know, if you have a bad fan or you want to, I don't know, swap out fans for whatever reason, all you got to do is unplug this bit right here, take the 4 screws off, you can pull it out. Now, what I want to try with the PS5 Slim is to actually run it without the fan and see how long it plays until it overheats. Now, I never even thought about this until last week when I made a video about a PS5 I bought from eBay that came with a broken, I'll just say a broken component. I'll throw that video on the screen if you guys want to go watch it. But that gave me this idea to do it for the, actually gave Danny the idea to do this for the PS5 Slims, where we just take the fan out and see how long it takes to overheat and compare it to the fat PS5, and we can get a vague overlook at the cooling without a fan there. So let's go ahead and just let's try it out. All right, so let's go ahead and turn on this PS5 and just see what it does. So got power, and of course it's pretty much dead silent because there's no fan running. And what we'll start with here is just running the PS5 on the home screen. Luckily we have 2 PS5 Slims, so we'll run this normal PS5 Slim with the fan plugged in, and then the one where I unplugged the fan just on the home screen for a little bit and just see what kind of temps to get to. I actually have a little thermal camera so you can see the temps out the back, and just that'll give us an idea of kind of how much hotter this thing is running. So I've only had these things on for like 5 minutes each, and you can see right off the bat, this is the one with the fan still plugged in. It looks nice and cool, right? Like our heatsink is right there, and we're about 84 degrees. Coming over to here, like boom, this is the one with the fan not plugged in, and right atop our heatsink we're at like 112. And mind you, this is on the home screen. It's just sitting here doing nothing. So let's go ahead and boot up a game. We got Spider-Man in here. Let's go ahead and just see what happens. I'm assuming it'll give me that overheating screen pretty dang quickly once it learns that it's not extracting any heat out of the system. Let's just keep an eye on these temperatures and see what happens. Okay, there it is. So, not gonna lie, I'm pretty impressed. Like, let me look at these temperatures right here real quick. We hit like 125 here in the center, so we went up like 10 degrees after the home screen. But I'm pretty impressed because the fat PS5, it was like as soon as you hit the home menu of a game, it was off. This one I was playing for, you know, a good 15 seconds in Spider-Man swinging around. I mean, it's kind of what you expect from a Slim. It, of course, runs cooler, it's more efficient, that sort of thing. But let's go ahead and turn this thing, I guess, back off and then back on and see what it does. But to me, the most interesting part about doing something like this is plugging the fan back in and just seeing how quickly this thing cools down. So let's go ahead and plug it in and see what happens. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so surprisingly, the fan is not even spinning that fast. I guess it like doesn't even recognize it as being that terribly hot, but let's go ahead and see what kind of temps we're at now. So I booted up Spider-Man and played for a minute or two, and we're already down like 15 degrees from what we were on the home menu. We were at 130 on the home menu, and now we're in a game at 110 and 115. So yeah, guys, don't unplug your fan. Don't try this at home. But let's go ahead and turn this console off and actually finish the teardown now. All right, so back at it. I got the disk drive off. I got the fan pulled out now, and definitely a smaller fan than the PS5 Fat. Not that much smaller, but a little bit smaller, which makes sense. So I'm taking screws out now to get down, obviously, to the motherboard. And I noticed we have a warranty sticker here, but it's like crooked, which is strange coming from factory. I've never seen a warranty sticker that crooked from factory, but I guess not a big deal, but I don't know, strange. But man, I'll give it to Sony. They make it super easy to take the PS5 apart. There's like 10 screws and those plates, and then we're already down to the motherboard here. We've of course got our part of the heatsink, which is still very hot from our test there. Got a heat pipe going down here. I think we have a heat sink. Yeah, definitely got some more heat sink on the other side of this thing. But this thing is very small now. All right, I got this back piece off, and this thing is kind of straddling the front plate because there's still a wire attached. So yeah, flipping it to the back, you can see you have our HDMI, you got your other ports, you got your power port, and flipping over to this side, you have your big blocky power supply in here. And guys, imagine if you took the power supply out and made it external. Like, they can make this PS5 super skinny. Just an idea. I don't want it to be external, but I'm just throwing that out there. Also, 2 more heat sinks over here, still very hot from our testing. We have a our battery, a coin battery over there. And yeah, nothing much to write home about. Still relatively the same size, just slimmed down. I will show some screenshots from a couple of the teardowns that I just watched when I was tearing this thing apart. You can see that the boards are like shaped slightly differently from the fat PS3 or fat PS5 to the fat Slim. But other than that, they use the same chip, same liquid metal, all that good stuff. So nothing changed drastically, just a bit more efficient, a bit smaller. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below what you think about the PS5 Slim, and I'll see you next time. All right, guys, so apparently Best Buy already has a open box used PS5 Slim for sale just 3 days after it came out. So we're gonna go inside, see if we can find it. All right, appreciate it, sir. Thanks, you too. All right, guys, we secured the PS5 Slim. Oh, well, at least I hope it's a PS5 Slim. You can see it's just straight up the box. There's no slip cover at all. I don't know how that happens, you know, 3 days after it came out. But there's a sticker on the side that says open box, and it says it's in fair condition. Now I am a little bit worried because none of the stickers say Slim on it. And also shout out to the Best Buy employee in there. We walked in, he immediately recognized me and went and got the box for us. We were in and out there like 1 minute.
2 hours later.
So back in the filming space, the first thing I want to do is compare this box to another PS5 Slim box I have just to verify it's the same, and you can clearly tell right off the bat it's the exact same box, so hopefully it is a PS5 Slim inside. And I want to take a closer look at the open box sticker here on the front. You can see it was printed on 11/12/23, which is really strange that just 2 days after it came out, there's already an open box used console. It does say PlayStation 5, and then under comments it says damaged, minor scratches, and residue. So we'll see how accurate that is, but let's go ahead and slice this piece of tape and see what's inside. All right, so right off the bat, wait, are we missing cords? Hold on. Okay, so here's the controller, and that looks about right. Looks like it's in nice condition. Now opening this up, this flap, there should be, wow, okay, so they just stuffed the cords down here. That's cool. We have our power cable, which looks normal, just no wrapping. We have our HDMI cable, and we have our stands, dude. That's actually pretty surprising. I thought these for sure would have been lost. I don't see our charging cable, but that's not a big deal. Let's go ahead and pull this out and see what it looks like. All right, this thing has definitely been taken out before, and the game is gone as well. Wow. All right, I didn't really expect a game to be in here because it says for fair condition now. They do say it might not include DLC or whatever. It does appear there is no game, so that does reduce our value a good bit. But I think it is still a pretty solid deal if this thing works, because you guys saw I paid $415, I think, for this, so a pretty huge discount for this thing. Now, right off the bat, I definitely see some fingerprints on the glossy part, which is expected if this thing has been touched at all, because it's just like, yeah, super easy to get fingerprints on there. Other than that, I don't see anything crazy going on the top. Flipping over to the bottom, again, just a few fingerprints here and there. Nothing really to write home about. The ports on the back look pretty good. You got your HDMI, LAN, 2 USB ports. I see like maybe one scratch on the HDMI port, like it was plugged in one time maybe. Oh, actually, the other thing I forgot to check out is the glossy black part in the middle. And I see some fingerprints here and there. Oh yeah, I see some scratching there, which is, again, expected for a used console because these things scratch like immediately. All right, anyways, we'll put that to the side and take a closer look at this controller here. All right, so taking a look at the controller, it looks pretty good. I mean, I see like one minor scratch on it, so it doesn't look like it's ever been used to me, which is expected. I mean, the console is like, 4 days old at this point. It was traded back in or sold back or returned or whatever 2 days in. And I'm really just trying to envision the scenario where a situation that this PS5 Slim has been put through. Like, how does Best Buy have an open box PS5 Slim 2 days after it came out? And actually, let me take a step further back. When I was buying the PS5 Slim on the day it came out, Best Buy actually had open box systems available to buy online at the exact same time they released the brand new ones. So just a note to make here, what makes the whole Best Buy and PS5 Slim open box situation even more strange is that I messaged the Best Buy support person like the night before the PS5 Slim came out and asked them if they're going to have them in stores, because I'm trying to buy it ASAP. And they said with confidence that I have checked this for you and see that they are not available in stores tomorrow, but you can place the order tomorrow. And come to find out, not only did Best Buy have brand new PS5 Slims in stores the next day, they also had open box excellent consoles for sale that same day. And somehow just like internally Best Buy just doesn't even know that their stores have the consoles. I don't know what happened there, but another thing to note here is they call this $499.99 price a Black Friday deal, so I almost wonder if the price is going to go up at some point, which would really suck. But yeah, just I don't know, the whole PS5 Slim situation is just a little strange. I mean, it looks like they used the console a little bit because there are some scratches around the HDMI port. My guess is they used it without the stand at all, because otherwise I don't know why they would have even returned the stand. I mean, if they're not going to return the game, why would they return the stand? We'll plug it in and see if this console even works. All right, we're all plugged in now, and the other thing I haven't talked about much yet is the slipcover. Like, how is this thing missing the slipcover 2 days in? Did they just tear it apart? I don't know. Let's turn it on and see what it does. 3, 2, 1. Any free games? Nope, no free games. All right, let's see if this thing actually shows up on the screen, though. No way. Dude, whoever used this thing last just straight up unplugged it. Didn't even turn it off properly. It just gave me the warning on the screen that says it's repairing the console. Oh, you can't make this up. Now that, to be fair, that might have just, either way it's bad. Like it was either the person who returned it, unplugged it directly, or Best Buy was testing it. And what did I just see on the screen? I swear I just saw the PlayStation logo pop up green in the corner. What is going on? Oh, there it is. What happened? Okay, now it shows up fine, but dude, something was wrong with the HDMI or just the way it was plugged in. Let me wiggle it around and see if it's okay. Seems to be okay now. All right, let's plug this thing in and see if we can boot up the main screen. In case you guys have not seen this, you have to register your disk drive to your PS5 now. Now, I wonder if it makes you do this every time you reset your console, because if this console's been used before, they had to register it unless they just didn't connect to the internet at all. That's the other caveat here, is you have to connect your PS5 Slim to the internet to connect your disk drive, make it work. Yeah, cool, so now I can use it. Great. All right, we are booted up now, and is the game copying? Okay, it looks like it is, it's at 1%. So while Spider-Man 2 installs, we're gonna test out Astro's Playroom, and we just started with the vibration here, which works great. We got the adaptive triggers. Those, I've actually seen these break on controller before, so I always test them just to make sure they work. Controller's good to go, and the game loaded up and is working. I'm gonna let the Spider-Man 2 install later, but for now, I wanna go ahead and turn this thing off and take the plates off and just see if anything sketchy is going on inside of this console. All right, got this bad boy unplugged. Let's go ahead and flip it around. And by the way, if you have not seen the horizontal stands yet, here they are. They're just on the bottom, and you can kind of slide them out of place. I honestly like them better than the original PS5 stand, but they're just small, crappy, and easy to lose. Let's go ahead and pop these plates off. Oop, there it is. Okay, that plate came off pretty easily, so I would guess that plate's been taken off before. And one thing I'd like to check here is there's a little sticky piece right here that covers up the fan port. That is still intact, so it probably has not been removed, although it is easy to put it back on. Also, in case you didn't know, the disk drive just pops off like so, and you can swap it out, and it'll work with other PS5 Slim disk drives. Let's go ahead and flip to the other side and see if the warranty seal is still intact. Oh, whoops, I forgot the warranty seal is actually under the disk drive. And yeah, it looks fine. I don't see any issues there. This side looks good as well. So this console is kind of a mystery. Like, how did this? I mean, I guess we know what happened. Somebody bought this console brand new and returned it 2 days later, all while taking the game and the cable, USB cable. I don't know how people can get away with this, but that appears to be what happened here. Actually, the one last thing I want to check is if the serial number actually matches up on here with the box. Let me check that. Yep, yeah, serial number matches up, so no issues there. But anyways, guys, I actually have another PS5 Slim that just came in from Best Buy. So here's the other open box PS5 Slim from Best Buy, and this is the one that I was able to actually purchase before I bought a brand new one, which was strange, but let's open it up, see what's inside. I'm not sure why it's in such a large box, but okay. So holy crap, guys, it is in there, but like no packaging at all. It's in a massive box. Okay, Best Buy. I'm just seriously so confused how there was already an open box PS5 Slim available at the time of release. You can see the open box here thing on the side here. No comments. It says printed date 11/3. So they had this open box console 7 days before this came out. Okay, the box is pretty beat up, obviously, because it had no packaging, but let's open it up and see what's inside. So actually, real quick, there's another sticker here on the side that says Interact Video PN Next Hardware. It's just some sort of, maybe somebody from Best Buy knows what the sticker means. Let me know down in the comments if you do. I don't know, we'll see what's inside. Okay, this has definitely been opened up before because things are kind of strewn out of place. We have a controller that's half wrapped. We have our horizontal stands that are out of the packaging. We have a few cords and stuff. I don't understand what happened here. It's so strange. And the console has definitely been taken out. So let's pull that out and take a look at it. Oh, and we actually do have our manuals down here. Now, the big reveal, is the code intact? Oh, it is. It should have been because it's an open box excellent, which they state comes with everything. It's just like minor flaws or whatever. I don't know. But let's go ahead and see what this console looks like. You know what, actually first I want to take a look at this controller, which appears to be in pretty much perfect condition. Probably never used, I don't know. Now for the console. And yeah, the console has definitely not been used. It straight up still has this blue tape, which yeah, that's how it comes from factory. I don't know why it has the blue tape, but our theory here is that maybe these plates right here are so fragile that if they don't put the tape on it, it actually becomes dislodged in shipping, which is kind of crappy. But other than that, like, yeah, I don't see any scratches or anything anywhere on this console. Maybe a couple here and there, and there's just some like cardboard dust and stuff. I don't know, man. Like, the biggest question is, how is this thing open box 7 days before the console came out? Actually, I think this one came out on the 8th, so still 5 days beforehand. Did like a Best Buy employee take this thing and take it home and use it before it came out officially? I guess if I turn this thing on and it works, it's actually not a bad deal to get a basically brand new PS5 Slim for $25 off. I mean, why not? But let's plug it in and make sure it works. Yeah, and also I can't even put the horizontal stands on this thing without taking the blue tape off, which is, the blue tape has clearly never been peeled off. So if somebody did turn this on, they didn't, you know, they didn't put the stands on, so I'm not gonna put the stands on either. Let's turn it on and see if it works. No free games. All right, console booted up, updated and stuff, and of course we have to register our disk drive, but just because PlayStation things, so let's make sure that works. That did work, so I'll verify everything works here, probably will, but once I verify things, I'll come back and we'll see what's going on with this console. All right, guys, console is fully working, so I don't know, strange purchases, but at least they work. Let me know down below what you think about the whole situation, and thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. I bought 2 refurbished PS5 Slims from GameStop, and in this video, we're gonna unbox them, test them out, tear them down, and see if we got ripped off. Now, first of all, this box is comically large, but let's open it up and see what they sent us. All right, well, they look exactly the same as the regular PS5 from GameStop, so hopefully they actually sent me a Slim. I got those out, and you can see here on the packing slip, they do say Slim Console Disc Edition. Let's just go ahead and open these up, and you can see, actually here on the back, it says Slim 3, GameStop refurbished, so I guess it is a Slim, but let's find out. All right, so first thing we find is this big white box, which should have our accessories, and guys, of course, my first question here is, how does GameStop already have refurbished units of the PS5 Slim less than 2 months after it came out? Also, by the way, I paid like $4.50 per console here. We do have our Slim down here, and wow, no. They didn't do it. Oh yeah, they had some dirt, grime, or something on their console, and GameStop went and did a spot refurbish with their magic eraser, so rubbed right there, and right there. Oh, that's rough. This thing looks awful for being less than 2 months old. All right, guys, can we just take a second here to talk about the fact that GameStop is already selling a bunch of these refurbished PS5 Slims like 2 to 3 months after launch? I mean, first of all, they actually have the Slim Digital Edition available, refurbished, which is strange because these things there's just not many of these available. You also have the Disc Edition like I have in this video, and then I added as many possible to my cart. I added 5 of each, and they're just all available. So you know they have a bunch of the Disc Edition and Digital Edition, and it's just kind of like, are people trading these in? Is GameStop getting these via returns? And like, why are they refurbishing them? Like, what needs to be refurbished in these consoles 2 months after launch? Like, are people getting these this dirty? Are they breaking them? I don't get it. It's strange, but let me know down below if you have any insight. Oh my goodness, here on the front, even the black part is magic erased. All right, well, let's put that to the side for a second and see what's inside of this box. I will be very... Dude, they included 3D printed horizontal stands. Are you kidding me? 3D print, dude, I knew these things were gonna get lost immediately. We also have it's not even the right USB cable. On the PS5 Slim, they have 2 USB-C ports here in the front. We do have a regular USB on the back, USB-A, or 2 of them. But the PS5 Slim came with a USB-C to USB-C cord for that reason, because there's 2 C's in the front. And so this is kind of an issue when we have a USB-A to USB-C. That's lame. Next up, let's take a look at this controller, and the controller looks, hold on, what is wrong with these sticks? Dude, these sticks don't feel right. Dude, the more I look at this controller, the worse it is. So hopefully you can see it, but they magic erased the entire back, the top, the front, even the front. Like this part right here is magic erased. So is that. Even the touchpad is magic. Wow. And then they got these stickers all over it. Replaced thumbsticks. I can almost guarantee we have drift, because why wouldn't we at this point? This is atrocious so far. Let's put this stuff to the side. And let me open up this other console. Now, I will note before I open this that we have Slim number 4 here, so I almost wonder if I got like the 4th Slim ever refurbished by GameStop here, the 3rd and 4th ones, and that's why they're so bad. They just don't know what they're doing, but let's open it up. All right, got the same box, pull that out. I mean, at least they used some bubble wrap down here. Put that to the side. Let's take a look at this console, and wow, same thing on the top here, where it looks like somebody put the greasy fingerprints all over it. Like, dude, it's not that hard to take a wet wipe or anything and just wipe that down. Like, if you're gonna refurbish it, please like clean it a little bit. Same deal here on the back side. Like, at least this back side, they didn't use magic eraser on it. Maybe a little bit, but it's just a bunch of like fingerprints and stuff. I guess those are fingerprints. I don't know. Then here on the front, it doesn't look great. I mean, it's not quite as bad as the other one. Just looking through the cracks, they don't look too dirty. I can't imagine how these things would be dirty, considering they came out like less than 2 months ago. But anyways, let's go ahead and open up this box and see what the accessories are. Gave us another 3D printed stand for the horizontal stands. We also have HDMI cable, power cable. Oh wow, they gave us the right USB cable. Cool. So USB-C to USB-C. We have a controller, of course. They definitely replaced the thumbsticks on this one as well. They don't feel quite right. They just feel different. This one doesn't look as bad as the other one because it doesn't have magic eraser marks all over it. Console number 2 is at least better than console number 1 so far, but still just so strange they include these horizontal stands. I guess it's like, if they work, they work. So let's talk about the horizontal stands here for a second. Now, first of all, I will say it is very nice. You can 3D print your own stands or buy 3D printed stands. I mean, I even found this eBay listing for $10. You can get 2 horizontal stands, and the concerning part to me, though, is that the fact that we have 24 sold already, and you know this is not the only listing, so it's just telling me that there's a ton of people that 2 months into the life cycle are already losing these stands. I mean, I'm not surprised. I called it a couple months ago when I bought the PS5 Slim that people are going to lose these things like crazy because they're small, but it's just a bit concerning. And I will say, second of all, how does GameStop not have a contact with Sony to say, hey, can we just buy these things in bulk? I mean, GameStop's a big company. I feel like for their size, they should be selling a bit more officially than 3D printed stands. You know, they're not just some dude selling out of the garage. I mean, that's kind of how they act these days. I don't know, man. It's kind of a red flag to me for a company this big. All right, guys, I have the OEM horizontal stands here next to the 3D printed ones, and I will say that I completely forgot the OEM ones actually have a grip on the bottom to keep your PS5 from sliding around, so that's gonna kind of suck. Let me just test that out real quick and see if this PS5 will slide around. Yeah, cool. So if you touch your PS5 at all, it's gonna be moving around your table, which is just, it's not ideal. I mean, it works, but dude, how do you lose these things 2 months in? Now, next up, I want to compare a brand new controller to the GameStop controller, and you can just tell right off the bat that the analog sticks are completely different. So this one's the OEM controller, this is the GameStop controller, and these sticks are just, they're thicker. The outside band is larger, and the grip is just not there. They're very slidey. The OEM DualSense controller sticks are actually very sticky and just very grippy. Not a great start for GameStop, but let's go ahead and plug in console number 3 and see if it works. All right, console plugged in. Let's go ahead and turn it on. We got power, no free games. Let's plug in the controller and get this thing booted up. So unfortunately, a little bit of our footage got corrupted, so I just wanted to mention kind of what happened. I booted up this console, and the first thing it made me do was update the controller, and like it would not let me use the controller at all without updating. And after a little bit of research, it appears that back in like September 2022, there was an update where you had to update your controller or else it would just turn off by itself and you couldn't use it at all. So that tells me that this PS5 controller has not been used since like 2022. So they just refurbished this thing like a year and a half ago and just now give it to me. Kind of crazy, but yeah, let's get into the rest of the video now. Oh, and of course I can't use my disk drive because I got to register it. It said I have an update too, so let me go to the settings and let's see what system software we're on. All right, so we're on 8.4, which is almost the most recent one. It does tell me that somebody actually used the console and did update this at some point. So let's go ahead and do the next update so I can actually register my disk drive, and then we'll come back. Yeah, I can use my disk drive now. Woohoo! It's always the concept of connecting to the internet to use a disk drive is always gonna blow my mind, man. Cool. So we're not banned. The game seems to be loading up here. Let's make sure it's actually installing. Yep, it is installing. Got Ash's Playroom. We'll go ahead and download that. We'll run some tests here. Make sure this PS5 actually works. Make sure the controller works, and then we'll move on to the second one. All right, booted up into Astro's Playroom. We're gonna do the controller demo real quick, and I just wanted to mention that I can't get over how rough this controller feels from all those magic eraser marks on the side. It's just like, it doesn't feel like a DualSense anymore. It just feels like trash, honestly. But the adaptive triggers work, which is good to see. Usually those things break. Touchpad is good. Motion sensor, yeah, motion sensor is good. Alright guys, I've been playing Astro's Playroom for like 10 minutes, and this console seems to be good to go despite how ugly it looks and how poor the controller is. It is physically, in terms of software, it is fully functional. So we'll go ahead and turn this thing off and boot up the second PS5 and see if it works. Alright, next up here, console number 2. Let's go ahead and turn it on. We got power, no free game inside. Let's go ahead and boot it up and make sure it works. Alright, there we are again. Disk drive cannot work. You know, I've talked about this before, but it's going to be weird in 20 years when people are trying to buy a used PS5 Slim console and they have to connect to the internet to update their console, and it's just like physically not possible because there's no PlayStation 5 servers. Maybe there'll be a workaround by then. I sure hope so. But system software is 8.4, so same as the last one. It does appear it's been turned on and used since the console came out. Let's go ahead and put a disc in to start with. Actually, I don't think we can because we have not connected to the internet. Let's check. Yeah, it physically just like, it won't even turn on. Just amazing. All right, let's go ahead and update the console, sign in, do all that jazz, and then we'll see if the disk drive works. All right, got this console updated, signed in, everything's good to go. We're on Ash's Playroom now. Hold on, unplug this thing. But this adaptive trigger is kind of weird. Like, just listen to this. Well, anyways, everything else in the controller demo worked. Let's go ahead and play a few minutes though, and make sure there's no graphical glitches. This controller is kind of garbage. I mean, it's fine. The game's working fine. It's just like, it's so loud because this adaptive trigger is kind of trash. Guys, this console's working fine, other than the fact that it's just beat up. But let's go ahead and take these two consoles apart, open them up, and see if they actually refurbished anything. So before we open the consoles up, I actually want to do a quick thermal test of both consoles just to see if we can see anything weird with the heat signature. And on the right side is console number 1, you know, the first console I unboxed. And this one over here is the second one I unboxed. And just taking a quick look at the heat signature on the back, this console, the hottest spot I can find was like, where was it at? 129, 130. And then this console over here was actually a bit cooler at 123, 124. So it's like 5 to 10 degrees cooler, even though they are running the exact same game, exact same scene. And now I also want to do the sniff test here. So console 1, console 2, and this kind of gives you, honestly, a good gauge of if there's going to be anything sketchy going on inside of the consoles, like cockroaches, dirt, dust, anything. The first one smelled fine. That one actually smells on the left side a little bit like cleaning solution, but So maybe GameStop actually opened it up and cleaned it, but I don't know. Let's go ahead and open the consoles up and see what's going on inside of them. And looking at this side, I'm trying to remember if there's anything on this side that's worth noting. No, let's flip over to the other side. I mean, the plates have definitely been taken off before because they popped off super easy, which happens when they have been taken off. Yeah, taking that off. I mean, there's like a tad bit of dust in here, but not much to write home about. And the warranty sticker is still fully intact, so they definitely have not opened this thing up. Taking a closer look in here, I mean, there's like a little bit of dust in the fan, but honestly, I'd be really surprised if this console was super dusty considering it came out less than 2 months ago. Yeah, it's still kind of the deal where why is GameStop calling these things refurbished when all they're doing is scrubbing down the outside, making it look worse, and not opening it up, not cleaning it out, whatever. I mean, GameStop even has a used category, so why not just call it used? But let's go ahead and open up the other console as well. What is, hold on. That's a bug leg. Do a super zoom there. That's a bug leg. And I saw another one over here on this plate, but I just brushed it off because I thought nothing of it. But that's a bug leg. That's strange. And the console smells fine. Doesn't smell like bugs. If you guys have ever had a roach console, you know those things do not smell good. But yeah, guys, overall, consoles were definitely not worth the purchase price. I mean, for 50 bucks more, you can get a brand new Slim that comes with either Spider-Man 2 or MW3. So that's just like a no-brainer. Only people like me would buy this thing. But guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know down below what you think about this GameStop debacle, and I'll see you guys next time. I bought a suspiciously cheap PS5 from eBay, and in this video, we're going to open it up and see what's going on here. I'll explain in a minute why this PS5 was weirdly cheap, but let's go ahead and start by opening up the box and see what they sent us. Now, the console appears to be packaged pretty well, and here's our packing slip. It says Sony PlayStation 5 Blu-ray disc version console disk drive defect, and you can see the price is $299.95. So essentially what I got here is a digital PS5 for 300 bucks, which is pretty cheap because if you look at eBay right now, digital PS5s console only used are going for $400, and then this one is $300. Now the difference is this one is a disc version, but the disc drive doesn't work. Everything else does work supposedly, but again, just a little weird. And honestly, the weirdest part is this person had like 10 of them for sale, and with all the same exact defect. Just a little bit odd. But let's go ahead and pull it out and see what's in here. All right, so here's the console. Let's pull it out of the bubble wrap, and as you can see, it is a physical, or excuse me, disc PS5. First glance, looks pretty clean. The glossy part here is actually cleaner than I would expect. No magic eraser like GameStop likes to do. Top looks pretty good here as well. And now flipping to the back here, we have all our ports, which look good at first glance. The first test I like to use here on an old console is look at the HDMI port and see how many scratches it has around it. Because naturally, people like to take an HDMI cord, reach behind the console, try to plug it in, and they usually miss a few times, create a few scratches, but I don't see like many scratches here. A little bit weird. Now going to the bottom, let's see when it was manufactured. All right, so zooming in here, you can see this console was manufactured in December 2020, so it is one of the earlier models, but like looking at the plates, I don't see like any issues. I mean, there's like one dot on the top here, which I think that actually happens on all PS5 consoles. But let's go ahead and take these plates off. I am curious to see if this console's been opened before. That came off really easily, so I feel like it probably has been opened before. Not even, it's like a little bit dirty, but not that dirty. This is not a refurbished console, so I don't expect it to be cleaned. Got a little dust bunny here. I'm free. Got this plate off, and looking at it, dude, this console I don't think is, oh, hold on. Yeah, I don't think this has been opened before, but that's a warranty sticker I don't recognize right there. So first glance, again, pretty clean. The first thing I look at PS5 on the inside to see if it's been opened is I look at this sticker right here and also this one. If you peel this one up right here, it leaves like residue behind. But we also have this other interesting looking warranty sticker here. So let me go ahead and zoom in on that. All right, so zooming in, you can see this warranty sticker here that I've never seen before on a PS5. I'm assuming the eBay seller probably put this on to deter people from opening it up, trying to fix it, and then sending it back, something along those lines. It is a little bit odd they put that, even though the original Sony PS5 warranty sticker is still in place. Now, considering the fact that this person on eBay has this many PS5s that have the same defect, I wouldn't put it past them to have replacement warranty stickers that they stick here. So I wouldn't put anything past this console until we test it out and open it up. But let's go ahead and put the faceplates on or back on, and we'll go ahead and turn the console on and make sure the other functions work. So I have the PS5 plugged in, and again, this came console only, so I had to use my own cords and controller. And let's go ahead and plug it in and see if it turns on. And just another note, I noticed this plate down here is bent. Not a big deal, just something to point out. Now let's see if it turns on. Okay, it is turning on. It's a good sign. And when I press the eject button, it does still at least recognize there's nothing in the disc tray. So I am curious to see, of course, what this does when I put a disc in. Let's go ahead and set this console up. All right, so console's booted up, connected to the internet. I'm gonna check what software version we're on and then probably update and just go from there. So we're on the software version that you can see on the screen right now. I'm not gonna list it out because it's like 20 numbers, but it appears to be a pretty recent software version. But we're gonna go ahead and update anyways and just make sure this console isn't banned because as you guys probably saw, I bought a console a while back that was banned. So hopefully this one is not. All right, so I'm updated and signed in. No banned console, good to see. Let's go ahead and put a game in here. Just see what happens. So we got the medium for PS5, put it in the slot. So it does take a disc in. It is trying to read it right now, but I'm guessing it'll not read it all the way. I mean, they said it has an issue. Maybe we get lucky and it works fine. Yeah, the drive does sound weird actually. It's like trying to read and then it stops reading and then it tries again. Let me put my mic on it. Okay, so I left it in there for like 30 seconds. Same thing the whole time, trying to read, not doing anything. It actually made the noise like it ejected it and then took it back, except it didn't actually spit it out. A little weird. I mean, it's normal to have some PS5 or some consoles in general where the disk drive doesn't work. Of course, you're not going to have too many at this point in time since the console's only been out for a couple of years, but of course it is possible. We're going to try a PS4 game as well, see if that's any different. Probably do the same thing, but we'll test it out just in case. So same thing with the PS4 game. It's not working. It does sound like it's trying a little bit harder than the PS5 game though, whatever that means. But let's go ahead and try to download a game and just make sure there's no issues there. Oh, so actually, as I was searching for a game to download, it came back to the main screen and says unreadable disk. So can't recognize the disk, make sure it's not damaged or dirty or that it's not inserted upside down. And again, let's try to download a game now. So I played some Astro's Playroom and Untitled Goose Game. Both games work perfectly fine, no problems. Let's go ahead and turn the console off, open the console up, and see what it looks like on the inside and see if we can fix the disk drive issue. All right, faceplates are off. Let's go ahead and start with these two stickers right here because I'm very curious to see if these have been taken off before. This one right here actually looks like it has been taken off because it had some dirt and debris under this corner, and this one corner lifted up very easily. So I have a little suspicion it's been opened up before, but not sure. This one's pretty easy to stick back on. Now this one is the one I was talking about where when you peel it up, it leaves a residue behind. Unless, I guess there are some ways where people can peel these stickers up without leaving the residue behind, like a heat gun and stuff like that. I've never tried it, but I have heard that there are ways to circumvent the warranty stickers. So that very well could have happened here. And now looking close at the screw here, I know you can't see it, and I'm speculating here, but the screw does seem to have some wear and tear on top, which usually if it hasn't been unscrewed before, it doesn't have any wear and tear. So my thought is that whoever opened this up did somehow circumvent the warranty seal. But let's keep going. And actually, let's take off this other warranty seal that I've never seen before. I'm assuming this is from the eBay seller. Man, this one leaves a nasty residue all over the console. That's awesome. So I have most of the screws off now. I did just open up the M.2 SSD opening, and I found that this screw had been moved. So I guess whoever had this before did use an M.2 SSD. Really not big news, but just something interesting to point out. And I also have the fan loose now. I'm curious what it looks like. I mean, it's got some dust on it, but kind of just normal dust. Yeah, nothing too crazy there. So I got that plastic piece off, and something interesting to note is that this tape right here is peeling up, almost as if somebody has taken the tape off and put it back. I don't know. I'm speculating. I'm just trying to determine if somebody has actually opened this console up before or not. But we got our disk drive here. Let's go ahead and take this out of the casing, and we're going to open this up and see if we can find the issue inside of this disk drive. So disk drive is out now, and I did notice some more pieces of tape here. As you can see, this one is lifted up. This one is lifted up. This one's partially lifted up, and it's got some marks there. So at this point, I am thinking this console has been opened up before. Again, really, it might not mean anything, but it's just interesting to see the console has been opened up, and they replaced the warranty seal somehow. The good news is, I guess, is that this disk drive has not been opened up because you got this sticker right here that appears to be intact. So let's go ahead and take that off and open up the disk drive and see what's going on in here. So I have the disk drive stripped down, and honestly, everything looks very clean, and I don't see any obvious issues. My guess is that the laser assembly is probably bad. But what I'm going to do first is clean the laser with some isopropyl alcohol and a Q-tip and see if that'll fix it. If that doesn't, I'll probably have to order a new laser and try it out. Surprisingly, I looked on eBay, and there are new lasers available that people have, for whatever reason, pulled out of other consoles and selling them separately. I don't know, but first we're going to try to clean this laser right here with a Q-tip and see if that'll fix it. Now, it's been quite a while since I've done this. I used to do this on 360s a lot back in the day, and I used to see it work most when you had a dirty 360 where the disk drive was physically just like dust and dirt inside of the disk drive, and, cleaning out the laser actually fixed it. This one, like I said, is very clean, so I'd be surprised. But you just want to lightly get some isopropyl alcohol in there, and then you're going to take the other end and dry it off. I might have put a little too much on there, but it'll dry off, so it should be fine. And yeah, you guys might have a better method for this, but this is what I've always done. And yeah, we'll put it back together, plug the console partly back in, and see if it does anything. I'm not very hopeful, but we'll try it anyway. So I have the console partially back together now. We don't need to put it all the way back together just to test it, but let's go ahead and turn it on. Hopefully it didn't mess anything up, and we'll put a game in, see what it does now. I don't have much hope, but we'll try it anyway. All right, console's back on. Let's go ahead and put a disc in. Nice. So I did something to it because now it's not accepting discs at all. Awesome. I made it worse. All right, guys. So after farting around with this console for like an hour, we're back to where we started. Unreadable disc. As you did see, I cleaned the laser. That did not fix anything. I had some other intermediate issues in between there because I didn't put the drive back together right, but I fixed those. But what I'm going to do now is order a new laser off of eBay because for some reason they sell them on eBay. We'll try to swap that out and see if that fixes the issue because yeah, no dice in the cleaning laser. All right, guys, so we are back in business. I ordered a part on eBay, came in 2 days flat. We got it right here. We're gonna go ahead and place this piece inside of the disk drive and see if we can get this disk drive working again. And I ordered the whole assembly instead of just the laser because it's just easier to put in there. But let's go ahead and take this disk drive back apart and see if we can get this to work. So this actually looks pretty dang simple to replace. I just need to take off 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 screws, maybe 2 ribbon cables, but yeah, pretty simple. So something interesting I noticed on the bottom of this assembly, so here on the right is the original one, here on the left is the new one. It has this like tamper evident sticker there. I don't know why though, because it's not over a screw or anything. Just interesting thing to point out, but yeah, super simple to do this. Just got to swap over a few pieces and we'll screw this piece back in. So I have the console partially back together now. I put that the new assembly in there and it was, like I said, pretty easy to do. I was going to turn the console on. It's a good sign it turns on. And hopefully I didn't mess anything up when I was placing that assembly, but we're going to try this out now. And yes, the PS5 is upside down, so I'm putting the disc in upside down. All right, so console is booted up. Let's go to the main screen here. And the disc is spinning a whole lot, so that's a good sign. Please show up, please show up. Yes, let's go, baby. So yeah, I'm glad that worked. It's super satisfying to do a repair. If you guys have ever done it before, you know that feeling. Honestly, I haven't done many repairs in the last few years, so it's pretty cool to do that. And let me know down below if you want to see more repairs on this channel. I probably will start doing more in-depth kind of stuff like that. But yeah, I'm going to put a link down below to the eBay seller. It cost me about $45. I think he pulled it from, he said a like new system. And I got it in 2 days, less than 2 days flat. So faster than Amazon Prime. But yeah, it looks like we got a fully working disc edition PS5 for about $350 after the cost of the broken PS5. And then also the assembly part for the PS5 disk drive. So successful repair there. And yeah, let me know down below what you think about the video, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. So I bought the cheapest PS5 console and controller on eBay, and in this video, we'll open both of them up, see what they sent us, and hopefully they work. So to make sure this is the cheapest PS5 console and controller on eBay, I went to the eBay search bar, I typed in PS5 console, filtered by used and buy it now, and then I sorted by cheapest. And then I selected the cheapest PS5 that didn't have issues, and then I did the same thing for the controller. So here in this massive box is the PS5 console, and I'm a little bit worried about it because it's sliding around inside, but let's go ahead and open this up and see what they sent us. Now this is supposed to be PS5 console only, no controller or anything, no wires. A bit sketchy. I'm not sure why anybody would have a PS5 console only at this point. Usually you have a controller, cords with it, but who knows, they might have gotten it from an auction or something. We do have a little bit of package. Oh, it came in a box. So the description did not show a box, so I'm actually very surprised here that we have a box. Hopefully that helped with packaging, but dude, what did they do to this box? So we got the box out, and this thing is covered in styrofoam. Not sure why. I didn't see any styrofoam in the box, so I'm not sure how that got there. And then the front looks pretty good other than the styrofoam all over it. Then actually, never mind. No, there's a giant rip right there. Whatever. I wasn't expecting the box anyway, so it's, I guess, a bonus. But like here on the side, like this flap is just sticking out. Not supposed to be sticking out. Here on the back, the flap is on the outside instead of the inside, and just a giant piece of shipping tape across it. And then again on this side, halfway tucked in, halfway not. So that's a bit odd. I don't know what to say. Hopefully the console is in there and not damaged. But wow, and I just cut it a little bit when I was opening it up. But like I said, it wasn't supposed to come with a box, so I guess this is a bit of a bonus. And yeah, as you can see, more tears right there, so always fun to see that. So me personally, I'm more of a keep the box kind of guy. Let me know down below if you guys keep your console boxes or if you get rid of them. I know a lot of people just get rid of them, but honestly, I keep all of mine. All right, so here in this box, typically we have everything in here, but oh, we actually do have the original packaging, at least for the console. But again, no controller, no cords. I just, like, I'm questioning how they came across a PS5 that had no cords, no controller, but it still had the box and everything. It's a weird situation. But here we have all of our packaging. Looks pretty good right here, but it is indeed just the console, not even the stand. I don't see the stand here, so it's literally just the console. And I mean, right from the get-go, I was a little bit sketched out by this purchase because the description had just looked a little bit sketchy. It didn't look right. Something about it was off, but it was the cheapest one that worked. There were some cheaper PS5s, but they had issues. This one supposedly completely works. But here is the console, and top looks pretty nice. I don't see like really any scratches or scuffs. Nothing crazy to write home about. And so here in the front, we have the glossy portion, and here is what's going to tell us how much this PS5 has been used, because if there's a lot of scratches here, it's probably been used a lot. Honestly, looking at these front two ports, I'm not sure if you can see. There we go. So I think you got some reflection there, but I don't see like really any scratches around the front two ports. So that tells me this PS5 may not have actually been used very much. And then going to the top, also just actually don't see that many scratches. So that's a good sign. So looking over the back, it actually looks pretty good as well. The one thing I usually look at on a console just in general is the HDMI port. If you see a bunch of scratches there, you know it's been used a good bit. I see like a couple scratches, but nothing crazy. So I don't know. Maybe this console hasn't been used much. Maybe that's also a bit sketchy because maybe it was a return that didn't work. I don't know. But yeah, no stand. Overall, physically, console looks pretty good, which is actually surprising based on that box we just got. But let's take a look at the controller now. All right, so now for the DualShock 5 controller, and this is a bit sketchy to me. The listing said it was in very good condition, 93% out of 100, which I'll show you. I don't think it's a very good condition, and it's in a bubble mailer, which is not great. You know, if I ship out controllers, I always ship them in a box because you can really mess up the analog sticks and buttons if you ship it in a bubble mailer. But I mean, we'll see what comes out of here. So this is funny. They used the free USPS packaging and put it inside larger non-free packaging. So they basically used the free stuff for the wrong service. A little bit dirty when people do that, but whatever. All right, and then in here, oh, we have another bubble mailer. All right, guys, so we have bubble mailer inception. We got one bubble mailer, 2, 3, and I think we're finally down to the controller now. All right, here it is. Here's controller, and there's something else in here. We have a random pawn shop sticker. All right, so here's the controller, and as you can see, this thing is not great. So I saw the pictures in the listing, and they did look like this. I knew it wasn't gonna be in great condition, but I just thought it was funny that the description said it was in very good condition. Obviously, we're missing an entire thumbstick grip right here. This one is partially torn off. The entire thing just looks well loved, well used. It just looks like it's been worn down so much on the front and back. Like there's dirt on the sides. All the buttons seem to click. So from that standpoint, it seems to work. Actually, ooh, that mute button doesn't really click. It feels very sticky. So I don't have high hopes for this controller. Oh, it is flashing. It is turning on. So it at least has power. But yeah, I don't have high hopes for this controller, honestly. So our next step is to plug in the PS5 console and the controller, see if they work. I'm a bit skeptical, but I guess we'll find out. So now we're connected up. My PS5 controller is connected to the PS5. PS5 is on the screen. Looks good so far. Let's go ahead and connect to Wi-Fi. I see my 2G Wi-Fi, but I don't see 5G. There it is. All right, so we'll connect to my 5G Wi-Fi and we'll see if it works. We appear to be connected up to the internet. Let's go ahead and finish this setup. HDR, don't care about that right now. And apparently I can go ahead and insert a game disc to see if that works. So I guess I'll go ahead and do that. So I have Resident Evil Village for the PS5. We'll go ahead and put that in, make sure it works. All right, disc is in. Let's finish the setup now. All right, so I booted up all the way. So far, so good. There's a few things I want to test, obviously. So first, let's go to settings, and let's check out our speeds here. There is a chance that, you know, the network card is messed up. I bought a refurbished PS5 from eBay about a year ago, and it actually had a bad GPU, which is kind of crazy to figure out. But I'll throw that link on the screen if you want to go check that video out. But that was really weird. Yeah, so this seems to be about right for Wi-Fi. So the next thing I want to do while this disc is installing is I actually want to download Astro's Playroom. This game is great for testing out all the controls in the controller, making sure the screen looks good. This is actually the game where I figured out the other PS5 had a bad GPU. So this is a great game to try. Astro's Playroom is installed, so we're booting it up now. We're going to play it a bit, test out these controls, and make sure the PS5 is performing as it should. All right, so this left analog stick is the one I'm most concerned about, considering it's missing the thumb grip completely. But it appears to work. We can jump, we can fly. Can we punch this tree? We can. The button was actually a little bit sticky there. I do want to check out this mute button because that was the one. It does work. It's just very sticky. Like it doesn't click like it should. A bit odd. Home button works. Let's see what else we got here. Square works. I don't think I can use triangle or circle on this page. I am concerned about the adaptive triggers. Those are the ones that seem to go out most easily. So let's go ahead and go to, I think it's that PS1 area over there. And we'll go ahead and place them in the claw machine and try out our triggers and see if they're working. So you hop on this thing. If you're not familiar with this game, you can actually, so first of all, I can use my motion right here to move this guy around, which appears to be working. And now if I pull the left trigger, I can pull this lever down. So it kind of uses the adaptive triggers here. Okay, that one seems to be good. And then I use the right one to squeeze it. All right, seems to be good as well. Let's try it out again. We'll pull down the left trigger again. So it kind of stops right there, and then boom. Always cool to do. Oh, I can throw it up in the air. I didn't know I could do that. And then we'll squeeze it. All right, cool. So those two are working. But all right, cool. So far so good. Let me we'll go to one of the play areas and just explore the environment and test out these other controls. So I'm trying out the share button and the start button, and both of them work, but they're very sticky, which is awesome. And another feature I was a bit worried about was the vibration. Vibration does seem to be working, and if I run around on different surfaces, it feels a bit different. So I'm not having any issues with Astro's Playroom. Controller seems to be good so far. Let's try out Resident Evil Village, since that's what I put the disc in. I just finished installing. All right, so Resident Evil Village is working. I tried out a few more buttons that I couldn't try on Astro's Playroom, and those do seem to be working. I actually have not played Resident Evil Village in a long time. I played it when it first came out for a few hours and then just never finished it for whatever reason. So I actually really need to go back and finish this game up. Now, another thing I want to try is playing a PS4 game. I'm not sure if it uses a different laser than the PS5, but let's just try it out just to make sure a PS4 game will work. All right, so Until Dawn for the PS4 is recognized. It is copying, so that appears to work. PS5 game works. Internet works. I'm signed into my online account. Doesn't seem to be banned or anything. So, I think we're all good here. So there is one last thing I want to do here. We're going to open up this PS5, take a look at the insides. Honestly, I might just take the faceplates off and see what it's looking like. But we're going to at least try to get a better idea of what was done with this console, if it's been refurbished, if anything's been fixed, if it's even been opened before. All right, so it's been a while since I took these plates off, but you lift up one of the corners and then basically slide it. It's pretty easy to do once you find the right corner to lift up. So let's see if I can do this without breaking it. All right, so I have to lift up on this top left-hand corner and then pull to the right. There it goes. Comes off pretty easily. So taking a look at the faceplate, looks very nice. No pieces broken, so the faceplate may not have even been taken off before. Taking a look under here. I don't see, let's take a look at this fan. I don't see any dust at all. So I'm wondering if this console had ever been used. Looking at the glossy part, looks very scratch-free. I don't see any dust on the fans, which normally you would, even with a little bit of use here, but it's almost dust-free. And this screw right here looks like it has not been removed. Let's take apart the other side as well and take a quick glance at it. So on this side, lift up the PlayStation logo and then push to the left. There we go. PS5 fan here looks very nice. I don't see anything crazy going on here. I was still baffled why this console came console only with the box but missing controller and all that good stuff, because that's kind of normal for something that was refurbished, or I don't know. I'm just speculating, but it's just odd that a console in this good a condition would come in a box like that and not have the controller, all that stuff. Just weird. And so if we wanted to take this apart further, we'd have to peel up on this sticker right here, which it looks like it's never been touched. So actually this one as well. These two look like they've never been touched, so I'm assuming it has not been opened unless somebody very carefully took it apart with the heat gun and put it back perfectly or had a replacement. I doubt that's what was done. So I'm going to deem this as an almost brand new console almost. Like you saw, barely any scratches on the glossy part, which is very, very rare to find in a glossy console like this. But yeah, overall, console works. I'm actually very surprised. I bought this on eBay, cheapest possible for the controller and the PS5. Both work just fine. I'll probably sell these on my website. Check out the link down below. I'll try to give you guys a good price because obviously I don't need extra PS5s right now. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and hope you enjoyed. I bought a broken PS5, a PS3 Slim, a Dreamcast, and a ton of games from a viewer of the channel. And in this video, we're gonna test everything out and also see if we can fix this broken PS5. I already unboxed everything, but I'll show some B-roll on the screen of the games I got. There's actually a lot of really good games, but we have all the consoles here. Let's go ahead and get into them. And first of all, we have this PS5 in the middle, and the most intriguing part is we have this broken clip of some sort here. He said it was broken. I'm not sure what is broken about it, but we'll open that up and find out. We also have a couple controllers, which this one's in not terrible condition, but it's not great either. It's pretty dirty and beat up, and This one looks like it's been well worn, well used. The other funny part here is we also have a Dreamcast. When just taking a glance at the back of this thing, it's probably the most yellow Dreamcast I've ever seen in my entire life, and it's funny how just the back is super yellow. The rest of it is not too bad. Also have a controller, of course, with this nice rainbow little grip right here. Anyways, we also have a PS3 Slim, which actually does look pretty good. Nothing really to write home about there. But the part about the PS3 Slim that is kind of odd is I believe both of these controllers here are knockoffs, and they're like really, really good knockoffs. Just at first glance, they look great on the front. The back looks pretty good as well. You can tell the label is like a little bit off, but it's pretty good. But let me pull out an OEM controller and kind of show you the difference. All right, so I bet at first glance you can't tell me which one is OEM and which one is fake, but I'll tell you the one on the right is OEM, and just listen to the click here versus the fake one. You can tell that the R3 and L3 clicks are just a little bit off, and then looking at the labels on the back, the label on the OEM one just looks a little bit different, and the feel of the controller is really the main factor here of how you can tell the difference. So let's go ahead and just start out testing these consoles. We'll plug in the PS5 first and see what it does and see what the issue is. All right, console's plugged in. Let's go ahead and see if it turns on. Got life, any free games, no free games. First issue I see here is we heard the console turn on, and I don't see any lights. Yeah, as you can see, I don't see any lights at all. All right, well, the console apparently was not turned off properly at some point, but it is booted up now, and it looks like it's on the latest dashboard update and is working. But again, the lights in the front are still not working, so definitely some interesting things going on with this console. I don't know, yeah, let's just try to boot up a game and see what happens. So we're booting up Cyberpunk 2077 here to see what happens. Yeah, and just listening to this PS5, it's got to be a fan issue because I don't feel. Maybe I feel a little bit of air coming out. Not much though. I don't know. What's going on here? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, definitely a fan issue. Let me test out the disk drive and we'll make sure that works. Cool, so disk drive is working. You can see here, we're installing the medium right now. We'll go ahead and inject that. Let's go ahead and turn the console off, open it up, and just take a peek at the inside. Oh yeah, let's just go ahead and take the top plate off first. Let's see what we find. Ooh, okay, so that plate looks fine, but wow, that, yeah, definitely pretty smoky. Wow, there's a lot of scratches under here. Let's go ahead and flip around to the other side here. All right, got that side popped off, and oh my goodness, wow. I've never seen a PS5 this yellow. Let's take this piece off to start with, and yep, that's our issue. So we have our, ooh, okay, hold on. So zoomed in here, you can see that the connector usually plugs in right there, but the connector is completely gone off the board, which is why we have this replacement one here. And it looks like, unfortunately, the pads are completely gone as well. It's hard to see here, but let me go ahead and just tear this down a bit more and take a closer look. All right, now zooming in here, I've just found our first issue, which is this ribbon cable right here, which controls the lights. So basically, the lights plug into the board right here. It's actually not even reaching that far right now because it's kind of twisted around the post the wrong way. Obviously, our second issue here is this little pad right here. Let me just keep zooming in so you guys can see it. But yeah, so essentially there should be 5 pads. I'll kind of point it out to you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and every single one of them is just straight up pulled straight off the board. I don't know how that happened. That takes some like major force to do that. So this is kind of uncharted waters for me for how to replace the pads. So let me kind of do a little bit of research and see if this is even possible for me to fix this. But guys, let me look this up a little bit and I'll come back. All right guys, so I did some research, ordered some parts, and I'm back now with somewhat of a game plan to fix this console. Now, first of all, as you saw earlier, the first issue we have is this chewed up ribbon cable. So I ordered some longer ribbon cables that are brand new that we'll just try to put in there. And the one that'll be a little bit more difficult is trying to solder on this fan connector. And as you can see here, they are just all the pads are ripped off. But what I figured out is you can actually just scrape off some of the copper that's down below. There is still a little bit of these traces left, which is good. You know, by default, the fan connector sits like right there. I'll probably have to move it back like there maybe. The only problem we'll have at that point now is when you put the black cover back on, it might not line up perfectly. Hopefully it still works. If it doesn't, I can use a Dremel and kind of make the clearance work there. But what I'm gonna do here is I actually bought this little, I don't even know what they call this thing, but it's basically like good for scraping away the solder mask here. So let me just go ahead and try it out. Basically, I'm gonna take all 3 of these down a little bit further. And then, by the way, these 2 pins right here are actually not needed. Those are just for like structural integrity. So I'm gonna use some hot glue and just kind of hold the pin down. But let's go ahead and just finish scraping away the solder mask so we can expose some copper, and we should be able to solder this thing back on. So I got a good bit of the green stuff, the solder mask wiped off. We're gonna go ahead and clean this up with the isopropyl alcohol and a Q-tip real quick. Get some of that dust off of there. All right, so if I mount it like right there, yeah, we should have plenty of surface area to mount this thing to, and then we'll stabilize it with some hot glue. All right, so next thing we'll do is go ahead and tin the tip on my soldering iron here. Get that cleaned up. We'll go ahead and apply some flux here. Now I'm using a different type of flux than I've used in the past. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this. Just apply it across all three of the contacts there. That should work. I'm going to see if I can apply some solder to these little points here. All right, guys, after a little bit of finagling, I think I've got this so that they're actually soldered to those points. I just got to get it a little more sturdy. And the main thing I'm looking for here is to make sure I don't have any solder overlapping between these points. I don't want them to, obviously short out. I think we're at the point where we can honestly plug this thing in and test it out and see if that fixed it. And actually, before I plug it in, let me just go ahead and try to plug this bad boy in and see what it does. Yeah, it fits. Oh yeah, it definitely needs some more structural integrity there, because you can just see when I wiggle it back and forth, the whole connector is kind of wiggling. So if I get some hot glue and mount it down on both sides, we should be good there. But let me go ahead and just leave it as is. We'll plug it in and see if it works. All right, I should find out pretty quickly if this works. The fan should immediately come on. So 3, 2, 1, power. And oh, it's working. Okay. That was stupid of me. There it goes. Let's go. Now, ultimately, that was a pretty easy fix, but nonetheless, it's always satisfying to do some actual hardware work and get this thing working again. Let me go ahead and turn this bad boy off. And let's go ahead and try to fix the ribbon cable now. Don't try this at home. Now, actually, before we do the ribbon cable, I'm gonna go ahead and line this up and see if it's actually gonna fit here. I don't want to actually unplug it yet, because if I unplug it right now, it's gonna rip the entire thing off. So I need to go ahead and mount it down with some hot glue, and then we'll try to put the fan in the right spot. I'm just gonna go ahead and try to put a small dab, probably more than a small dab, on both sides here and see if that'll hold it down. Oh yeah, there we go. That thing is not moving now. Still not quite as secure as it was originally, but it's pretty dang close. And of course, I will sell this PS5 on my website once I'm fully done with it, but it'll be at a reduced price, because I understand it's not a fully, it's not like a fully factory PS5. Now next up, we're gonna try to replace this ribbon cable here and get that fixed up. So basically, this ribbon cable runs from this connector right there all the way around the outside to a board right there that makes the lights light up. So I think to get to it, we need to actually take off a couple more pieces here. First of all, let me get the disk drive out of the way. So I got that out of the way, and I got the middle black piece apart now, and you can see this ribbon cable more clearly now. So this part plugs into the motherboard. It goes around the outside and plugs into this cable right here, or this PCB. And you can see it was just mutilated through this screw hole right there. It was also mutilated in another screw hole somehow. We're just gonna pull this out of place basically, and then this will just pop out of place like so. And we'll take our new ribbon cable, run it around the outside, and see if it works. Now, one more thing to note here that's another issue that I just found is the fact that this ribbon cable that goes from right here to this PCB right here was unplugged. I only noticed that because when you take this piece off, it's usually not easy to take this piece off because it's straddled by this ribbon cable, but this piece just kind of fell off, and I noticed that this ribbon cable was unplugged, and it actually matches up with some symptoms I found on this PS5 earlier when I was just playing around with it. The USB ports in the front did not work, and that matches up because the ribbon cable was not plugged in. All right, guys, I finally have this ribbon cable plugged back in, this one plugged in. Of course, we have this plug-in of the long ribbon cable, and I have it kind of straddled along here so we can plug it back into the motherboard. All right, now moment of truth. Putting the black piece back on right here. Let's see if the fan connector will have enough room to plug in. And oof, oh, that's close. All right, well, I just had to scrap the black piece for now because it's not gonna work. But I have the fan plugged in upside down, so it shouldn't spin on me this time. Ooh. Well, that was. I didn't mean to turn it on there, but at least, hey, it's working. I mean, we got our fan spinning. We have our light here. Let's go, dude. Nice. All right. I'm not gonna call it a clean fix, but it is indeed fixed. It's showing up on the screen now. Let me go ahead and just connect the controller up and make sure this thing still functions properly. Well, despite the console turning on and lights working and fan working, the USB ports in the front are still not working. You can see when I plug it in, it doesn't charge up or anything. I've tried both ports here, different cables, different controllers and everything, and nothing's working. I'll have to tear this down a bit more to see what the issue is there. We also need to get a Dremel now to to clear this out a little bit so the fan connector will actually fit. So let me go ahead and do those things and I'll come back. All right, guys, so a couple updates here. Now, first of all, I did get the fan connector situation sorted out. Basically, instead of a Dremel, I used an X-Acto knife and was able to actually pretty cleanly cut out a larger hole so the fan connector fits through there now. So that's all good. Now, the USB ports in the front still don't work because I found out the cable is bad, but a replacement cable is like 20 bucks, and for 20 bucks, I was like, you know what, just use the ports in the back instead of the ones in the front. So we're gonna leave that part as is, but otherwise, the console is all good to go now. Well, guys, now that we have that problematic PS5 out of the way, let's go ahead and test out this PS3 and the Dreamcast, see if those work. Now, the PS3 already got plugged in. It's got a red light on, which is a good sign. It actually looks fairly clean for, considering everything else here. Let's go ahead and see if it turns on. Any free games? Nope. But I also got I got a copy of MW2 that we'll put in, test out, make sure it works. All right, guys, there we go. We go back with the classic air paint, whatever they call it. Oh, we got a bunch of games here. So MW2 is the game in the disk drive. We have Sly Cooper for the PS Vita. Wow. Savage Moon for the PSP. I Am Alive, Crisis 3, Abyss Odyssey, Dead Space 3, Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. Holy crap, there's a lot of games on here. Okay, guys, well, got to the end. Probably 30 games downloaded here. There's a message box. I'm going to scroll through here real quick and see if there's anything interesting. Absolutely nothing sent here, but if we check the receive, there's a bunch of just like, oh yeah, it's just a bunch of spam. That's what it is. We got hi PSN users. We are still feeling bad about what happens. That's like classic spam message. Wait, hold on. We have saved data utility here for the PS2. Is this system hacked? Or is this a PS2 game that was like available on the PSN store? I'll have to do some investigation here. But actually, before I wanted to boot up a game, I wanted to check out the save data utility so we can just see when this thing was last played. Wow, May 2024. So, wait. No. Okay, the date is flipped around from what I'm used to. So it's on January 5th, 2024, which makes sense. That was like right before this guy sent it to me. Let's go ahead and boot up MW2 and make sure it works. Cool, yep, game is working without an issue here. So this console is actually good to go. Now let me do a little bit more digging into this PS2 thing real quick. So I looked into it a bit, and it appears that this console doesn't have custom firmware, but I think just at some point, for whatever reason, he transferred some PS2 memory data onto this console. I don't know why. Not really a big deal. Let's go ahead and plug in this this Dreamcast here and see if it works. All right, got the Dreamcast plugged in. It's been quite a while since I've played one of these bad boys. Let's go ahead and turn it on. All right, cool. Game is working, and I just had this memory pop up. Does anybody else remember playing a Dreamcast kiosk and playing some sort of Sonic game, probably Sonic Adventure, in like an H.H. Gregg or a Circuit City back in the early 2000s? Like, I have this memory of when I was a kid playing some sort of Sonic game. I don't know, that just came to my mind randomly, but this console is working. Let me go ahead and, I'm actually gonna go back to the main menu, and I'm gonna see if there's any save data. Okay, yeah, we got some save data saved on this memory card right here. We got some saved dates as well, 2098. These are probably not accurate at all, 2006, 99. Yeah, it's hard to trust these dates because the console needs the date needs to be reset all the time. And there's Sonic Adventure. I guess that's just a game I just played since 1998, even though it's clearly, 2024 now. This console collection I got from the subscriber it's quite the collection. Now, the PS5 was very beat up and honestly made for a pretty interesting repair, just like so many various little issues, but glad it's working now. And guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. And if you guys got anything you want to sell me for a video like this, let me know. Send me an email. Might be interested. So guys, thanks for watching again, and I'll see you next time. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know down below which PS5 you think is the worst in the slot, and I'll see you guys next time.